Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Critical Critique Pulls on Point. We are looking mighty fine today. We're looking
actual new look today.
Yes, actual new look as opposed to our last new up. We already have a chatter too.
Hey,
Chompy in the chat.
Pre-stream waiting room actually works.
Yes, we're becoming real streamers now. Real streamers. We're gonna be the big leagues. So I guess before we get started with what we're covering and whatnot, we'll just talk about just general channel update stuff. As you can clearly see, we have fancified the overlay. It looks very nice. Ali has fully embraced graphics design as his new passion. So
yeah,
he did a very good job on that.
My favorite website of all time, pngwing.com.
So, yep. I'm probably going to have to redo my avatar at some point so I can have a proper Fugi, but I'll work on that over the next few months and we'll see how we go. We will see what happened.
I mean, I stole mine and I edited a closed mouth into it.
Yeah. It can't be any worse than that, I guess.
Yeah. Looks a little bit odd. Don't look at it too much.
Don't look at it too much. Yeah. So there was that. Ali's also been experimenting with doing community posts, and I believe this video we're about to cover was from one of those community posts. So if you have any suggestions for videos, I'm guessing that you will pump out a community post maybe every week or something just to say, hey, this is the time we're going to be streaming. If you've got any ideas for videos, put them in the comments.
Well,
We try to look
maybe
at the
not every
comments.
time, because we do have
Maybe not every
some...
time. Maybe not every time, but like maybe some of the time. Maybe if we don't have anything on the docket, we'll put out the call. We'll put out the bat signal. we'll be like, we need videos, guys. We need stuff to
Yeah.
do.
Hey,
Hey, Dio.
Dio.
We
Yeah,
got
but of
Dio in the
course, no
chat.
guarantee that the video will actually be used, because they'll...
Yeah. We reserve the right to basically say no, because there was a couple. Because we went through some of them, and a couple of them looked kind of alright. Some of them would require a little bit more work. We probably don't have to get into it, but we talk about it in the background and we suss out what we're going to do. So we had a chat about it and we came to the decision. This one seemed like a fun one, so we're gonna bully the fighting game community today. That's gonna be our our fun
Yeah.
time.
I am, of course, a pro gamer, because I am Iron rank in Street Fighter.
Yeah, and I don't play fighting games, but I know a thing or two about how the fighting game community is the big cringe. So I know that they could be a bit weird, a little bit weird. So yeah, I don't know. Have you got any other updates you want to share with the class? Or,
So I want to refresh the standard YouTube thumbnails, because it's also getting a little bit out of date.
Yeah, we probably got like a bunch of really chaotic video thumbnails.
Yeah, and some standard because you need a thumbnail before you stream for the stream.
Yes.
And I don't have anything really standard agnostic, or for a stream agnostic thumbnail before something happens.
Yeah, so things are still work in progress, but we're slowly upgrading. We're slowly getting the upgrades coming in, bit by bit. I guess another thing that I'll mention in terms of video recommendations, I believe you mentioned
I completely forgot the stream title.
Oh no. Yeah, Samu should be happy. But in terms of, as I was mentioning, so in terms of video recommendations, right? We're not necessarily limited to like 10-minute, 20-minute videos, right? We are happy to maybe cover an hour-long video. Just bear in mind, if you're the chances of us doing that is going to be entirely dependent on if that video would actually be interesting to cover, because of how long it takes to cover videos. We'd probably have to start a little bit earlier to accommodate that, and we would probably have to, because we're real people with real lives.
Yeah, actual jobs.
As crazy as that might sound, we do have lives outside of the internet, which is partly why we disappeared for like half a year, right? So we don't mind if you want to recommend a video that's like an hour long or 40 minutes long, because we understand that's the meta now, apparently, is everyone's pumping out hour-long videos.
Well, we
right?
do also, actually, but...
Well, we do too, but we're a stream now, so we don't have to wait. We have an excuse. But yeah, so if you do have any recommendations for longer-ish videos, don't feel like you can't put them in like the chats or whatever, or recommend them or whatever, right? Just bear in mind that it is a lower percentage chance that we'll cover it, and it will be entirely dependent on if we both think that it would be a good discussion, basically.
Or because Nretsew would need to wake up earlier, so he need to do less the day before. I need to wake up. I have to stay up later, so I should have less stuff tomorrow.
It'll hopefully get a bit better as we kind of get more into the swing of things, and we don't have to do so much setup to get the stream going and whatnot. So
standard thumbnails and whatnot.
Standard thumbnails, as we kind of get, if we continue doing stuff, it's gonna be easier. But it's just I just figured I'd say that now, just to kind of let people know, right? If you do have videos, feel free to recommend. So yeah, with all that out of the way, today we're going to be talking, as we mentioned before, about fighting games need censorship, especially Street Fighter 6, which is a very
I see bare nipple,
triggering.
Nretsew.
Yeah. It's very
Bare nipple
triggering
on the YouTube.
Yeah, oh no! Cover it. Cover his. We need to censor
Damn, I should.
the Ryu nipple. Yeah, yeah. Very triggering title for me, at least, because as people know, I am a very anti-censorship man. I very much do not like the censoring of the medias. I think it's very bad. So yeah. I guess without any further ado, let's get right into it.
Fighting games have become more accessible with the addition of things like auto combos and modern controls. Although it's probably true that the biggest barrier to entry for fighting games is difficulty, the skill floor has never been lower, and I think there's a different barrier of entry that has not been properly addressed. I think this, and this keeps more players out of fighting games than they bring in.
Okay, so
Jesus.
right off the bat, right off the bat, right? I can already. I'm getting. Ali, do you remember years ago, long time ago, we covered a video by a man named Gaming Shelf, who
don't remember that name.
I think he was called Gaming Shelf, but we covered. It was in a gaming system video. Long time ago.
Was it about JRPGs?
It was. It was about JRPGs. I have a feeling this guy is going to make the exact same argument, which basically boiled down to we want more people in Thing, so we need to change Thing to get more people into Thing, right? Make Thing more accessible to the masses by removing Cammy's ass or something, right? That's where, like, we're only 25 seconds in, and I feel like I've already nailed exactly where this is going, but, you know, I could be wrong. But in terms of what he's already said, right, I think I should lay out, there's a difference between accessibility and just being stupid. Because he's not wrong that there are things that you can do that can increase the accessibility of something, right? You know, you've got, especially when it comes to like disabled people, which is something that I know quite a bit about, because you know, because of IRL things. I know a little thing or two about that. So the want to make things more accessible is not inherently bad. The problem is you have a lot of people like this guy who will use that as a shield to make arguments in favor of things like censorship or easy modes when there don't necessarily need to be easy modes, right? It's used a lot as a crux for an argument, and I really hate that. It actually offends me when people do that shit. So yeah, I'm probably going to get very triggered by this video.
For a little bit of context, I do play or have played Street Fighter 6 a bit. Like I mentioned, I am iron rank.
Yeah, and I have no experience much with fighting games, like myself, which obviously is going to mean that anything I say is going to get dismissed outright by anyone that actually plays fighting games.
Don't worry, they can't dismiss me. I'm a casual fan.
Yeah, you're gonna give me the fighting game pass. You give me the fighting game pass. Yeah. Sammy says that Skullgirls existing destroys that idea. Well, I mean, considering all the drama around Skullgirls, I don't know how true that is anymore. But yeah. So let's keep going. Let's see what he has to say.
Let me try to substantiate that a little bit. Okay. I don't think it is important to players. Everyone knows you have to please your target market.
Oh,
if Street Fighter
back for a second because to that table.
Everyone knows you have to please your target market players.
Here. So, I skimmed through this video or even watched it. I think this table is supposed to show that the sexy game Multi-Blood.
Yeah, Multi-Blood is anime weeb.
So
shit, I said weeb again. God damn it. anime otaku stuff.
Yeah. So this I don't, unless he took this from somewhere about they don't care about Multi-Blood. Multi-Blood is a bad game, but I feel that the YouTuber here made this himself.
I mean the problem is he's running under the you have to buy into the idea that more big number mean better, right?
Well,
because yeah, like you have to, but oh yeah, more people playing the game is better, right? More people watching the game on Twitch is better. More people doing this.
The idea that because Multi-Blood is low and Multi-Blood is a super sexy game, that means that sexiness doesn't sell. That's basically
which is absurd. Which is absurd, right?
It was a very odd argument. I think it's. I was very confused when he saw this table and then quickly moved on without explaining it, because this is. I'm assuming here. He doesn't.
Yeah, and I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what this table represents. Like, is this like people playing the game at tournaments? Is this viewership numbers? Is this like what am I looking at? Like, what am I actually looking at here?
I feel this is something of an Evo registration thing.
Maybe that's what I mean. I don't know what this is. So how can I like what is like? I don't have a reference point here, right? As someone that doesn't know anything about like the fighting game, right?
Yeah,
I don't, and this is probably why my perspective here is somewhat important, right? Because if he's making this video, right, to convince, like, who is he trying to convince? Is he trying to convince people that already are in the in-group, right, and already know about fighting games and will look at this graph and be able to go, oh, I know exactly what this is, right? You know, oh yeah, I know what he means. Or is he like trying to convince just everyone, right? Because if he's trying to convince everyone, he's doing a poor job, because I'm confused as shit right now.
Yeah,
because I don't know what I'm looking at.
I think this comes from Evo. It has some kind of the Evo look to it. Evo, the big fighting game tournament with a bunch of fighting games, a bunch of fighting game tournaments, and these numbers aren't very high, so I have to assume these are registrations for the game,
right?
But then there's some kind of weird argument that Type Luna is especially sexy, but Street Fighter is not, or Guilty Gear is not. Therefore,
that's kind of weird, because I mean, yeah, Strive is definitely targeting the normie audience with all of the shit that they've done to Strive. But apparently, it actually hasn't helped the game a whole lot. If we're gonna go by numbers better, right? Apparently, the player numbers on Steam, at least for Strive, are not that great.
Strive had a bunch of hackers for the longest time, so that really hurt.
And so there was other problems too. But from what I've heard on the grapevine, that grapevine being Twitter, right?
Your drama Twitter, which you completely...
my drama Twitter, Strive has a lot of, like, outside of the drama, right? Like, we're gonna put that in a box, and we might open that later, we might not, because that's a whole different fucking, like, anything to do with Strive is like a whole nother can of worms and a whole nother podcast, right? The game itself apparently has a lot of mechanical things that are, like, made for the general audience to make it easier to play the game, but at the same time make it like a worse gameplay experience. I don't fully understand any of that shit, right? But I'm just saying this is what I've heard, right? This is what I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not. Take it with a grain of salt.
So I know people who play Strive regularly, so I know a little bit.
Yeah?
I never asked or never looked into it, so take it as you will.
Yeah. So
Strife had hackers for a very long time, which really killed online, which means less people see it, less people play it on Steam also. And the lobby system isn't great. It takes too long to go from main menu to a online match. It takes a minute or something. The lobby system is weird. There are just these hurdles you have to go through to get to a game,
which is not good. Yeah, I can
understand.
And
Street Fighter is therefore a better game because with three presses you're in the game almost right away.
Yeah, so I find it. This is another really weird thing. This is changing the topic because I kind of want to get back to the video. But
I'm done with this
table. I find it weird how he singles out Multi-Blood specifically. Makes me feel like which is weird because Strive is an anime game, Dragon Ball is an anime game.
Yeah, right? Multi-Blood isn't.
I mean, almost all of these are Japanese games. I think Mortal Kombat is the only one that's not like a Japanese devved game. So like, why is he singling out the Multi-Blood? Because I've seen footage of Multi-Blood. It doesn't look, outside of like that one lolly character, like it's just like one lolly character I've seen. Like it doesn't look particularly sexy. Like if it was like Dead or Alive Extreme or something, you know, like Dead or Alive or something, then I'd probably be a bit more like, yeah, okay, maybe, yeah. But because he's specifically singling out Multi-Blood, it seems to me like he's got...
Multi-Blood isn't super erotic, sexy at all. I mean...
It's not super erotic and sexy, and it is going to be inherently niche because it's more... like it's Type Moon, I'm pretty sure, right? It's like more...
Multi-Blood, yeah.
Yeah, it's more anime-focused in general, so it's going to be probably a lot more niche than something like, I don't know, Street Fighter or Tekken or, you know...
Dragon Ball.
Marvel versus Capcom. So I don't... Yeah, but I just wanted to point that out before we move on. So let's
we've been on this.
Everyone knows you have to please your target market. If Street Fighter fans do not like Street Fighter, then it's very unlikely that the game is going to succeed.
If Street Fighter fans don't like Street Fighter, the game's not going to do well, Ellie. Who would have...
This feels very much like a setup too, but we need to we need to figure out what those Street Fighter fans actually like, so we can trim around the edges.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what he says.
I believe how each character plays is infinitely more important to fans than what they're dressed in. Intuitively, we know this to be true. Maybe you try to main a character because you think they look cool or cute, but you will eventually gravitate to a character who feels right. You'll gravitate to a character who you like playing, not just looking at. I don't think Cammy mains who spend thousands of hours learning her and her matchups will drop her in Street Fighter VII if she isn't wearing a leotard. I think they'll drop her if she doesn't feel right, or maybe if she's unviable. On June 26th...
Oh, we're going to talk about Skullgirls. All right, here we go.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right?
Oh, God.
Gameplay is it more important than character look? That's and therefore you can change character look without upsetting the gamers too much.
The gamers.
The gamers.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I get the argument. I actually don't necessarily disagree with the argument. I do think that, gameplay, right, is probably going to matter more than how the character looks. However, that doesn't dismiss the fact that censorship is censorship, and censorship is bad. Simple as. That's going to be my catchphrase for this entire video, is censorship bad, simple as. Right?
As stated in the description.
But yes, as quoted, and my great quote in the description. So I'm going to explain that, right? Because we're going to talk about Skullgirls, and this is probably where this is going to come up, right? Being anti-censorship, to me, is a moral position, right? It's not. It's not like it's a principle, right? It's a founding principle, right, that I live by. Censorship is bad, right? I'm anti-censorship when it's gay people getting removed from movies in Iran or whatever. I'm anti-censorship when it's Russia cracking down on shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm anti-censorship when it's Disney doing shit. I'm anti-censorship when they're removing shit from games that are like 50 years old, right? Like this like the Skullgirls case, right? I'm anti-censorship as a founding principle, right? I don't care what's being censored. I don't care, whether or not it's left wing, right wing, fucking middle wing, whatever, right? Censorship, to me, is a bad practice, right? It limits freedom of expression. It limits artistic, creative endeavor, right? And I see it as a massive fucking problem, right? Because I want devs to be able to create whatever the fuck they want, right? Whether or not it succeeds or not is a completely different question, as long as they have the ability to create it and not have it butchered either before or after the fact by people that don't fucking want to play it anyway and don't want to, like, wouldn't be interested to begin with, right? Because who is some random wacko on YouTube or Twitter to say that I shouldn't be able to see Cammy's ass, right? Because oh no, seeing Cammy's ass is gonna scare off the normies. Oh no, no.
Nretsew, let me give my very controversial super crackdown pro censorship argument.
Yeah, we're about to have a fight. Let's.
Yeah, it's all very good to be anti-censorship, but it's actually very hard to, after the fact, determine when something was censorship and when they didn't feel like including it anymore.
See, that's a good argument, right? And that's where I think context matters, right? Context really does matter when it comes to, like, you want to know a really good example of this? Xenoblade.
Yeah.
So you're a fan of the Xenoblades.
Oh yeah, I very much like Xenoblade.
So as you know, Xenoblade 2, right, is based. It's got the sexy woman in it. It's got the Mithras and the Pyras and the big anime titties, right?
And that's fighting the system.
Fighting the system. Yeah, it's a based video game. Right?
Going to heaven.
It's a based video game, right?
Yeah.
Xenoblade 3 comes around, and there was a lot of people, right? And look, I'm gonna be controversial myself. I'm gonna call out my own camp, right? I'm calling out my own side, right? There are a lot of idiots that were going on about, oh no, they desexualized. It's different style. It's censorship. It's like, no, that's not censorship. Okay, they just decided to go for different style in the third game, right? And the reason I wouldn't call it censorship is because, I mean, if you look at the history of Xenoblade, right? You had Xenoblade 1, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you had the Xenosaga games before that, but let's just to make it not so complicated.
Xenoblade.
Yeah, we'll keep it to Xenoblade, right? You had Xenoblade 1. Xenoblade 1 had, like, a few outfits that, they had some boob windows, right? But it wasn't, like, excessively.
You had swimsuit armors. But
I'm talking about, like, just general designs, not like.
All right.
Not like, because obviously if it's a swimsuit armor, it's going to be a little bit more, like whatever, right? That's not a problem. Like, let's just, general design ethos, right? Xenoblade 1 is Xenoblade 1. Then they go to Xenoblade. Then they go to Xenoblade 2, and they completely change. Like, I mean, you look at the two games, and they do have distinct styles almost, right? It's still Xenoblade,
different main artists,
but they look different, right? And then you look at Xenoblade 3, and it's the same thing. So to me, that's not censorship. They didn't censor. Yeah, they didn't censor anything, right? They made a creative decision that this is the style they wanted to go for Xenoblade 3, because Xenoblade 3 is going to be, a serious game with serious themes or whatever.
All
about
like
death, it's going to be
50 different types of death and how people deal with it.
Yeah, Yeah, so to me that's not censorship, and this is why it's very important. Like it's like if there's one other quote from me I want people to take away from this stream, and other than censorship bad, simple as, is context matters, and you have to be able to figure out what the context is, and not. It's so easy to have a knee-jerk reaction and jump the gun, right? And hell, I'm guilty of it. I've done it before. I think everyone can say, hey, the situation was not quite, don't go chasing whales, as 650 said. Yeah, exactly. You gotta, like, I try to, like, hold off before commenting on things sometimes, because it's better to just wait and see how things play out, and then you can come in and go, oh yeah, that was censorship. Oh yeah, that wasn't censorship, because there are some cases where it, like, looks like it's censorship, and then it turns out, oh no, it was just, creative decision or whatever. And you have to be able to discern that. So I'm sorry, Ellie, your controversial take is not as controversial as you thought it was going to be.
Nah, I mean, you're very big ideologue on censorship in that regards.
I am. I take it seriously. Seriously, and
I mean, ideologue
because I'm passionate.
Ideologue is a word you can use, which doesn't mean you're full on crazy.
Yeah.
You're your ideologue on the censorship. I am not that really in that sense. If it still looks good, it's a shame they had to change it. Oh well, it still looks good, kind of deal.
Yeah. See, and I don't agree with that, but I don't like necessarily, because that's just the normie position to me. That's just the
I mean, Mithras,
that's the normie position.
Pyra's and Mithras outfit in Smash, because they would Xenoblade 2. Mithra had bear thighs. Then they they went to Smash Ultimate, and the Zero, the Japanese rating board, said these girls are too sexy.
Yeah, well, too sexy for Smash. Basically.
Too sexy for Smash.
Yeah. Because Smash is aiming for a lower age.
All ages, basically. So Sakurai, against his will, or the original artist, the modelers, whoever, against their wills, had to cover up Mithra's thighs with black stockings.
Yeah.
Which still looks good. So.
Here's my argument for that, right?
It's a shame they had to change it, but I have an argument
for that. So I have an argument for that, and my argument for that is, you can say that it looks good, right? You can have the personal opinion that it looks good. However, I could probably send you an example of this, actually. For I don't know. Would it be safe for stream? It might not be. I'll bring up the images, and you can make the executive decision about that. In Girls Frontline, which is a game that is very, very dear to my heart, right? They have a bit of the censorships in China, because China, right? Mm-hmm. And then in the West, you can use an uncensorship code that uncensors the game, like the CGs, right? So you don't have to worry about that in the West, but in China they have to censor it, because China is China. But there's one character in particular. Where is she? I think it's M1919A4. Has a Halloween skin in particular.
Oh, you mean the Chinese don't like dead people in games?
No. It's about skin.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So let me bring it up for you. The damaged art might be a bit too risque for YouTube, so we'll just stick to the normal CG, right? So I will pop that in there. If Ali doesn't bring it up on stream, because it might be a bit too risque for YouTube.
This is fine enough, I think.
You can go to like IOPwiki.com and just look up M1919A4.
Oh, I didn't want that, but well, all right.
You can bring it up, but if you don't want to do that, yeah. Yeah. So the one that I posted there, though, that's the uncensored version, right, of the skin. So she's in like a bit of a, she's got quite a bit of skin show, right? Then I post the censored version of the skin.
1 sec, because I'm.
Once it
It
loads.
showed up as a a small image with a big black.
Oh yeah, probably because I'm just linking. The
yeah,
file
it's websites which messes it up.
Ah, shit.
No, don't worry. I have it. I have both images.
You're fixing it. You're fixing
I'm fixing it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Live.
Yeah. Next time I'll just copy the image instead of sending the link, right? So okay, so you can see what I mean, right? So in my opinion, I think the censored one's actually sexier, right? Yeah. I actually really like the skin tight bodysuit on that. I actually think that looks. It's weird because in an attempt to make it less sexual, they made it more sexual. You know, but to get to the point, right? I can have the opinion that I think that the censored version is better. However, because I'm principled, I'm still going to say that censorship is bad and that it should be uncensored, right? I don't like the outcome might be good, but I can't say, oh yeah, you know, like I still have to make the argument that censorship is bad, right? So I think that people kind of have this idea that you can't have like you have to. Oh no, the censored design is terrible. And I think I have like a thread on Twitter about this, where I kind of talked about it. Although when I'm on Twitter, I'm a little bit less nuanced than I am when I'm talking on stream. Right, I tend to be a little bit more extreme on Twitter, just because I enjoy being a little bit more extreme on Twitter. But like. Because you have a lot of people that'll make the argument when you're arguing about censorship, right? You'll be saying, look, censorship is bad. Censorship shouldn't be happening. But then people will jump in and be like, but I like the censored one, low, as if it's like, oh, we're going to we have to take your cake away from you, you know? It's like, no, you can like in GFL, right? If you want to run the censored skins, you could just run the censored skins, right? You can uncensor it if you want. My problem would be, you don't have the option. Right? Like you don't, and like in Smash, you don't have the option to have the uncensored skin. So I would argue that that's bad, and there should be an option, and the age rating system needs to be completely fucking redone because it causes censorship, right? And then that's like a whole other fucking topic, right? But you get what I'm saying, Ellie?
Yeah.
Am I making sense? Am I making sense, or am I just rambling like an idiot?
You're kind of rambling anyway, but you're making sense in what you think is good. I'm very much a fan of these garter belts that run down the legs.
Well, I mean, part of it is due to the artist, because I don't know if you recognize who the artist of that is.
Kinda, but not by name.
It is AS109.
Ah, I know that guy. I believe he has something said like all Koreans have to die or something.
Well, I don't know about that one, but separate the opinions of the art from separate the art from the artist. So what's let me, before we move on, let's have a look at what the chat's saying. So I think I fall somewhere in between. So Samu says, I think I fall somewhere in between you two. Bottom line, I don't think something censored can't look good. It's more a principle thing. Give an inch, go a mile. Exactly, Samu. I agree with that. I think that's probably what I'm trying to say in less words, right? It's like, yeah, you can say the censored version looks better because sometimes they do, right? But if you're going to be principled on the matter, at the end of the day, I still have to say, yeah, no, censorship bad. Simple as.
So the thing is, to give my very full-on dictatorship opinion again, that this censorship fight is very much something of all ages, from all times. I say
it's a very old fight. Yes,
it's a very old fight. Therefore, I don't think it's really at any greater risk than it's been before.
I don't know.
People make stuff what they want to make, censorship or not, basically.
I mean, listen. I don't know about that. I don't know. That might be an argument for another time.
Yeah.
Because that could be. I don't want to tangent too much. I'm just going to read 650's chats, and then we'll move on. He's saying,
summarize it.
Just saying, I'm not that guy who. Yeah. 650's just yeah. I know you're not that guy. Yeah, that's fine. Garter belts can be sexy depending on the usage. Indeed, they can. I think we can also that we're bodysuit and garter belt enjoyers here on the stream. But anyway, so let's get into the Skullgirl stuff, because this is probably going to be interesting. I want to hear what how he explains it, and then we'll maybe talk about the event itself and see how it goes. So
some of its artwork. This censorship included a reduction in the sexualization of characters. Although there was a Twitter storm and a review bomb, the player base actually increased very slightly.
Very slightly. Okay.
Yeah, he should have. Back to video criticisms.
Yes.
He should have said where the criticism started and kind of faded away, because
he also left out the part that the censorship wasn't just sexualized content. They also censored a lot of authoritarian Nazi type imagery.
It's something about
game.
that big bands, big racism, cop racism was toned down, which is also kind of off.
There was a CG that was censored. There was some stuff, like Nazi-esque imagery, not necessarily Nazi imagery, but like stuff that is obviously in reference.
Big authoritarian.
Yeah, like generic authoritarian stuff, which is kind of like, it's weird how they censor that, because if in the story of the game the authoritarians are the bad guys, right? Shouldn't that be fine?
Well, at least one of the characters is from that authoritarian organization, or maybe.
Well, yeah, but you can play the bad guys in any of these games, right?
Yeah,
like
sure.
Street Fighter, you can play.
I don't know. Maybe when they want their character to be less of a Nazi.
I don't know. But I'm just bringing that up because I find it because I tend to find when people argue about the Skullgirls thing, they'll always be like, "Oh, you're just a Kuma. You're just mad that they censored the panty shots." And it's like, no, dude. There's like fucking a bunch of other things that got censored that have nothing to do with sexualization that are important to talk about, right? And I find it interesting how he brings up, there was a Twitter storm about it, and there was a bunch of other stuff about it, right? Which is true. But him trying to say, there was a, 252, it went from what, 100 and, it gained 100 players. That's a great, man, if we're talking about numbers big, right? That's not a lot of people when we're talking about a video game, right? Because when we're talking about like video game player bases, I can't remember what video it was or if it was something I read, but I think in order to have good matchmaking, I think actually it might have been an interview with a dev. It might have been Piranha Games and MechWarrior Online. I can't remember what it was, but I think it depends obviously on the game and the matchmaker. But supposedly you need to have a population of at least 1,500-ish. A little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but you need to have at least that many people playing actively for most matchmakers to function correctly and not have you like wait for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, old games also always have their own little Discord where they organize.
Yeah, you'll have people doing community stuff too. So yeah, it's kind of So it's not like 1-to-1, but I'm just bringing that up because him being like,
big number.
Skullgirls gained 100 people. Obviously, no one cares about the censorship, and it's like I don't think that really if it was like, let's say 1,000 more players or like 2,000 more players, then I could concede a bunch of people started playing the game because it was censored or something, right? That's fine, right?
Yeah.
But because it's such a it's within like margin of error, right? If you know what margin of error is in terms of like data and statistics, right? It's like
Nretsew,
100, a gain of 102.
I'm a trained physical
oh yeah,
and
you
chemical
are.
analyst.
Oh yeah, you are.
I have done my statistics.
Yeah, you can very much talk about.
Well, apparently I can't talk, but I can do math.
Yeah. So yeah, like I mean, would you say that like an increase of like 102 is like pretty marginal for?
I say I have too little information to make any conclusion.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, and a lot of people usually flock to a game when there's buzz or drama, like Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, that's true.
Although
too,
I think Hogwarts Legacy was more of a thing. Harry Potter is popular, guys.
Yeah, that's the other thing with that. Like that whole situation is a little bit different and kind of we won't get into that because
we're only
a minute and a half into this video. This is
you talk too much, Nretsew.
I'm talking too much. So anyway, let's continue.
Although outrage at some desexualization might have seemed big, the player base was largely unaffected. That's because the people who play the game every day do not care about artwork. They care about how the game plays. As for casual fans...
Okay, one second, because I have one anecdote where one guy who plays Skullgirls, black man, was very much had big question marks above his head when he said, wait, why remove a big band, a big black jazz guy in the game? Why remove the image or tone the image down where he's getting beat up by police?
Yeah.
That's not woke at all. That's not progressive at all.
That's not woke at all. Yeah, we have to get rid of the police brutality message in our game because reasons.
Yeah, so it's not even consistently one. It's not consistently anti something.
Yeah, and again, that's the factor that this guy is ignoring is that the censorship wasn't just the sexualization. It was other things as well. And he's hyper focusing on the sexualization to try and make the argument that no one really cares about the sexualization or whatever. But I also think it's interesting how when you look at like the Skullgirls stats that he brought up, right? Did you notice that like the all-time peak was like 3,000 players?
Yeah, that's all. Apparently, I would believe that's the start. It's always had. That's the same with every.
Well, it's the all-time peak, so that can change depending on maybe there was a DLC that came out and a bunch of people started. Or there was a Steam sale or something.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not necessarily like launch time. It could have been any time in the history of the game. So, but it's interesting how like. He's making this argument of, no one actually cares about the censorship. That's why the player base was mostly unaffected, outside of like the marginal gain of 100 and whatever people, right? And it's like, okay, maybe that's true, but then you have to ask yourself, right? What was the point of the censorship? Why did they do it? Right? Because if we're gonna have, if he's using the argument of we need to censor the game because we want the normies to come, right, and play the game, right? We want more people to play the game. Wouldn't that actually defeat his own argument to say that, they censored the game, therefore there wasn't a marginal like a massive increase in the player count because all of these so-called people that would not play the game because they saw like one frame of a panty every now and then, right? They suddenly like it's countering. He's like we don't even have to talk. He's countering his own point in his own video.
I'm just looking at the Steam charts for the all-time peak. And that was 2015. I believe some big updates. I assume then.
I think there was a DLC that came out at some point. I don't quite remember. Something happened, and
I see a couple of peaks, and the last peak was in 2015, and there hasn't really been a peak since.
Well, the game was mostly like complete, wasn't it? Since then, I don't actually like. I know there was some drama about like one of the devs or the dev studio or something, but I don't quite. I'd have to re-research.
Oh
that
yeah,
again.
I mean, I can tell you about it, but it's not relevant.
It's not relevant to the topic, right? But like I know that happened, and I know that like for all intents and purposes, the game was basically finished, right? Like it was done. It was a feature complete product. It came out. People played it. People still played it, right? And then, like seemingly out of nowhere, right? Although you could probably argue that because of the dev drama and like the changing of hands and the publishing and whatnot, suddenly out of nowhere they decide to censor the game, right?
Yeah.
It's very weird, right? So again, my question would be, what if the censorship doesn't matter, right? If no one actually cares about the panty shots or the Nazi imagery or the police brutality, why censor it in the first place? If no one cared.
Yeah. But shall we move on? My intention was to
should.
do a quick interjection.
Yeah. Well, you know how this goes, Ellie. A quick intervention for us is like fucking half an hour. So let's continue.
I don't think people who buy $70 games buy them for lewdness. Why would you spend $70 to stare at characters you could look at for free? Okay.
God, we're not going to get through this video today. Because what the fuck is this argument? Oh, people... Ellie, how much is Koketsu Party? How much is custom order? How much is custom order
without DLC or with DLC?
Yeah, how much is how much? You know, like what the fuck is he talking about? People won't pay $70 for a lewd game. What the fuck? What the fuck do you mean? What do you? They're not buying games for the lewdness. How do you know that? Right? How do you know that? Are you a mind reader? You like maybe there is some guy out there who only buy like I mean I'm not that guy, but I mean you know me, but I'm not necessarily that like I care about more things than just that, right? But maybe there is some weirdo out there who is like, man, I only buy these games for that stuff. And also, as Samu pointed out, gacha games are a very thriving market. And gacha games are some of the lewdest fucking games you can get on an app store platform. Like you just look at what Azur Lane is pumping out right now. You know, like if you go on Azur Lane's Twitter, like right now, you'll see like I think they're bringing out a new faction that's actually Ellie. I'm gonna have to get you to have a look at some of these ships because they might be Dutch because they're all like ancient sailing ships.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple.
So you might actually be interested in it because a lot of them might be Dutch. So we might need to look into that.
They're not to so many unless you are talking about the make of the ship. I mean, I know a couple ship names. I know a little bit of Dutch.
Maybe we can do that later as like a fun thing when we're done. Maybe
sure.
Because I don't know if there's any Twitter drama right now, so we can do that instead of Twitter drama. But my point is, it's like, and you could make the argument, okay, a gacha game is a free to play game, but look at how much like people do whale on gacha games, right?
Oh, yeah.
Why do people whale on gacha games, right? Why are people spending way more than $70 on rolling for like their waifus or their husbandos, right? Like why are people doing that? I would really like this guy to consider consider that because oh yeah, Galgun $90 DLC. Someone had yeah. He's not not wrong. We also have Coffee Flavored Milk in the chat who says, I remember that there was some YouTuber who said I don't play fighting games to coom. They unironically use booby mouse pads in their thumbnails. You know, that's an interesting thing. I've seen that like a couple of times.
I believe that's clickbait most of all.
Probably clickbait, but at the same time, I've seen that before where you have people that are like clearly actually in the know about lewd stuff or know about lewd stuff or are actually into it, but they play this like game where they act all prudish and shit online. Like, oh, I'm not like one of those guys, Ellie. I'm not one of those Kumas. I mean, yeah, I have the body pillow and the mouse pad and the sex doll or whatever, but I'm not a Kuma, Ellie. I don't Koom. I hate these anime, you know, like, it's very weird. I don't know why they do that. it's very,
saving
very
face
weird.
or whatnot.
It's very weird, but anyway, let's continue.
Okay, let's roll with it. Maybe you did buy it for lewdness. Is that really going to be a good enough reason for you to stay? Street Fighter 6 is the least lewd Street Fighter to date. Many casuals will never even obtain the leotard. Is it a coincidence that it's also the most successful Street Fighter to date? Explicit content may not...
Yeah, these statements make me question, have a question mark above my head. For Street Fighter is the least lewd game, which is kind of debatable because all the outfits are still there.
And I mean, there is also that one character whose feet keep fucking showing up everywhere.
Yeah,
What's
and
her name? I don't even remember her name.
The biggest fighting, it's like 3 different fighting clubs dedicated to her feet, her soles, her toes.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. So yeah, it's debatable. Let's continue.
Bring people. It definitely keeps some people out. Be me, playing Street Fighter 5 with my family. My father is old as rocks, so he's actually pretty decent since he played Street Fighter 2 as a kid about like 70 years ago. I don't know. After every match, I prayed nobody picked Armika. Nobody needs...
Okay, this is another really common argument I hear a lot. It's like, oh, I can't play the game in front of my family because of Cammy's ass or Mika's ass or whatever. Such a fucking stupid. Can you agree with me that that's a stupid argument?
It's a very self-imposed shame, and unless you're not old enough to play it or whatnot, and if you're really, unless you're not old enough to play,
I mean,
Cammy isn't.
I can understand,
Armika.
like, there are some households that are very prudish. You know, you'll have hyper religious parents or whatever, right? Maybe this is more of an American thing, right? Maybe, like, us not being Americans, we probably don't have that perspective, right? So I can understand. Yeah, you don't want to have that awkward moment with like someone that's that prudish. However, excuse me. However, the problem with that is, why would you want to become just as prudish as your parents? Right?
Why would generational trauma is always a thing.
Generational trauma or something, right? Like, because here's the other thing. His own analogy here is really stupid as well, because if his dad played Street Fighter 2 in like 1974,
then there was Street Fighter or Street Fighter 2. That's the one.
Street Fighter 2. Wouldn't he be okay with like Cammy's ass or whatever? Because like that's what they had back then. They had the original costumes back then. So, and like this character Mika or whatever, she doesn't seem any more or less lewd than like original Cammy or whatever.
She's very much big wrestler energy, and
she's big. You know, luchador wrestler girl. You know, she slaps her ass or whatever, and it's like, yeah, fine, okay. But like, how is that? Like, I don't see that as being any more or less lewd than anything that came before in Street Fighter at all. At least from like my outsider's perspective, right? Like, it doesn't seem any more or less lewd. So it doesn't really, like, his point is so like it's like flimsy printer paper. Like, as soon as you like examine it for more than like a minute, it just falls apart. Because if his dad was okay with the lewd stuff back then, he's going to be okay with the lewd stuff now. It's not like he's become more prudish. You know, maybe he has, but I don't know his dad, so, you know. Yeah, modern sensibilities, yeah, exactly. But anyway, let's have him whine about how he can't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Before we move on, I was going to make the point that the common argument is like the joke that I like to make on Twitter is I'll like sarcastically quote like these types of people by saying, "Oh God, I can't watch big booby anime, big milf milky waifus in front of my mum on the lounge. We have to censor." You know, like, oh yeah, you got into the itchy anime or whatever, and you're mad that you can't watch it in front of your mum, right? Like maybe some things, maybe you have to be an adult and understand that maybe some things are just not appropriate to watch in front of your mum, and maybe you shouldn't try and censor those things to make them appropriate. You know, maybe that's an idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's continue.
To see Armika. My little brother do not need to see her. I don't know.
But what? Why? What's wrong with her? She's just. Sorry, I had.
Yeah,
I don't know why they gave her.
I'm getting so triggered.
this big American prude energy.
Let's continue.
They gave her. It's so out of place. It doesn't make sense. It's over the top. I hate it. We should have just played Smash Bros.
1 second. Armika isn't really out of place any more than Honda, big sumo guy, is out of place next to JP in Street Fighter 6.
Guile's hairdo is more out of place. You know, like I don't understand. I don't understand. Like I don't. Here's the thing, Allie. I am Nretsew the perv. I am the perv, right? I am the big Kuma man, right? I am retweeting so much hentai, right? I look at this character, right? I'm looking at her, and I'm not seeing hypersexualized.
No,
maybe I'm just desensitized. Maybe I'm just desensitized to all the sexy stuff or whatever. But like, I don't look at that and I don't go, "Oh God, she's like half naked. Oh, she's showing so much skin. It's inappropriate for like."
No, Nretsew, you know, you have to get to into the American mind, which is cleavage and skin. Bad sin. Yeah. You go to hell.
Yeah, as NSMP says, they always frame it around but what if my parents don't approve? What if my parents? Yeah, over the top, speaking about a game full of muscular people. Yeah, is he going to talk about Ryu's like ripped, shredded, shirtless abs and his beard?
I mean,
he's going to talk about that.
Zangief has underwear and nothing else.
Zangief is basically in like, over the top bad, unless it's heckin' irony.
6'5". Marissa is my main. Yeah, I like Marissa to play as Marissa. Not that I play very much, but I like playing Marissa.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Actual pro wrestlers of both genders wear less than Mika. Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. But anyway.
And actually, if Marissa was naked, I would say, oh, that's in character and not very erotic at all. Because she does it for the fighting.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Nobody Mika, because I mean, like, why would you? Ken's right there, but it made me feel uncomfortable.
It made me feel uncomfortable. God.
The whole argument.
Oh fuck! God, we got to get through this video. I'm gonna have to.
Sexualized elements in these games also make me feel uncomfortable when I'm playing around my girlfriend or even some friends. If playing this game makes me feel wrong as a 25-year-old man, imagine how alien...
He's fucking 25? He's fucking 25 and he's acting like this? Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway.
Alienating it could be for a woman. Do you think most women would want to...
He's speaking on behalf of women.
Do you think Funnily enough, there was a Twitter drama about that a little bit. I'd have to go fish it up. I'm probably not because I can't be bothered. I really need to start bookmarking Twitter dramas for the show, maybe, so I have them on hand. But it was about it was another Tactifield thread actually about there was some Yuri manga anthology or something.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like a I don't know if it was Bookwalker or Yen Press or something, right? But it had some work from some artist in it that was basically like a Yuri lolly ex-Nazi who killed their parents or something. I don't know the whole context.
That feels very much like something a woman would write.
Well, that's not really where it was going, but it was like it was people trying to make the argument. It was kind of like last week. Remember how we were talking about how like, oh, Yuri is just for the straight white men's or whatever, right?
Yeah.
This time it was like, oh, Yuri is for the pedos.
Oh.
And it was like God. But the thing is like it's like we were talking about last week. It's like, oh, women write this stuff. Women read this stuff. This stuff is not like it's women like sexy stuff. Women like making this argument. Oh, how uncomfortable would it make the woman? Has he actually like asked his girlfriend if it makes her uncomfortable? Has he actually talked to her about it?
I didn't say last week that Baldur's Gate 3 has sex, right? Sex in characters you can make naked yourself.
I've heard the game is very horny.
Very much, a little bit too much at times because they.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard. This is going to get really off topic, but I've heard a common criticism of the game, even though I haven't played it, right? But I've heard a criticism is that the companions, like, you'll befriend them, and then they'll immediately try to jump on your dick.
Like, it's kind of a limit on the writing of the characters and the progression.
Yeah, something like that. It's like
it's well done. Yeah. It's well done, but it's still maybe a little bit too much. But I believe I said this last week, but I'll say it again here, that women that don't know Dungeons and Dragons at all look at these characters, look at these sexy characters, and then go, damn, I better learn the entirety of D&D and all its combat, all those combat details, because I want to fuck that man.
Yeah, or that woman. Look, we don't discriminate on the show.
No, at all. And whatever, you can customize gender and pronouns and all that stuff. And women, yes,
you can have men with vaginas and women with dicks and all kinds of, do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy.
And they love it, and they make their pretty boy and their pretty self-insert, and they go for the big burly man who can turn into a bear, and the women go, yes.
They have sex as a bear. Yeah,
I have learned D&D I played this game for 100 hours to get to this point.
His argument here is fucking ridiculous, and honestly, you could just dismiss it outright as my feels. It's not. This isn't even an argument. This is just. I'm so uncomfortable. The titties, Ellie. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw her titties.
Of course, with women isn't a monolith. They have different opinions. If you're an American prude woman, then of course they might still not approve of Mika.
Yeah. See, it's sad that you even have to say that. Because it's like that should go without saying that.
Minority voices often are made into singular entities.
Yeah, but anyway, let's keep going.
Play this.
What are you waiting for?
I mean,
no, I'm not doing it.
Obviously, some do, but I think there is a large population of women who would play fighting games if some of this stuff was taken out. Just look at games like Valorant. Everyone's reasonably dressed. There is a good, healthy number of female agents, but none of them are dressed in crazy stuff.
Okay, but the difference is Valorant is a first-person shooter CSGO clone. Valorant isn't a fighting game.
Yeah, and I
like this argument of if you just okay, let's get this out of the way, right? We've already discussed how clearly the censorship doesn't matter because there wasn't any discernible increase or decrease in the player count of Skullgirls, right?
No, not really, no.
Using his examples, right? So why would you make the argument that there's apparently thousands upon thousands upon thousands of women who would instantly start playing Street Fighter if you just, like, made them all wear burqas? Right?
You know,
like,
of course,
what is he...
Baldur's Gate is the perfect example for how do you make women play your game. Make it a dating sim and let them have orgies in it. That's how you get women the woman playing your game.
And like, he's talking about Valorant, right? And it's like, yeah, Valorant is really popular, but it's a completely different type of game. You don't, like, the skill set needed to play Valorant is not the same skill set wanting to get into fighting games. There's a reason I don't play fighting games. I don't play fighting games because I'm just not that interested in the gameplay. I've dabbled a little bit. I played a little bit of Xrd, I think, with a friend of mine who came over one time, and he brought
cheap game, I think.
Do you
own it? Yeah. I think I own it also.
Guilty Gear Xrd or whatever. He came around with his PlayStation one time. We played local a little bit, and like I played it, and it was fun. But it's like I do like the real barrier to entry with fighting games, right? Is the fact that you do have to kind of understand the game a lot more. Like, the skill ceiling is really high, right? Like, you have to understand how the combos work, when to do a combo, when not to do a combo.
So Street Fighter 6 is pretty good. He mentioned this way at the beginning.
He did mention that there's more casual stuff being put in to
modern
right?
controls and auto combos.
And you see, my argument would be that stuff matters more than what the character... It's ironic because I'm actually making the same argument that he's making, just in a different, in the completely opposite side of the spectrum, right? The stuff that actually matters is the gameplay, right? Because I think I even mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I actually agreed with him on that, right? So the stuff like the auto combos and the tutorials and the training modes and all of that stuff to help people kind of rise their skill ceiling, right? And make it so that it's easier to understand how to play the game without having to invest like hundreds of thousands of hours into it, right? That stuff, I think, is what's actually causing the game to have high player counts, not necessarily, they covered up the woman, it's less sexual, right?
Yeah, I'm still on the big Baldur's Gate 3 example.
You've mind looped yourself into that.
Yeah, I mean, where the women as a monolith are perfectly happy to spend over 100 hours learning and playing a game to get to the sexy part.
I think it's like maybe the issue is fighting games. Like I think you have to be a specific kind of person to be into that.
That's also
just
true.
like you have to be a specific kind of person to play something like Escape from Tarkov, which I've played before, and I play that sporadically depending on how I'm feeling.
I've seen a little bit. It's not really for me. But shall we?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean, right? It's like you have to be a specific. Like, I think you have to be a certain kind of person with certain kinds of likes and interests to really get into games like that require that level of commitment.
Yeah, and then of course the modern controls in Street Fighter and all the other additions to make gameplay easier helps to broaden that a little bit more.
Yeah.
That I have bought the game and played it and had my fun time. But shall we go to the comments and then move on?
Yeah, we'll go to the comments. So we got NSP, he's made a few. He said, even the wokest fighting game fans are super into horny characterization and designs. You don't even look at the enemy in Valorant. Yeah, that's a good point. You like in Valorant, Apex and whatnot, does it really matter what the enemy looks like? Does it really matter outside of being able to identify them as the enemy, right?
No.
Not really. How do you incoming dangers and and then we have flavored milk coming in and saying, here, where is he getting this evidence that the tamer designs in Valorant are the reason why the game is popular with women or whatever? Correlation. Yeah, you're right. It's correlation causation argument.
Yeah,
like
because I don't see
these things are not these. I don't think these things are linked at all.
I don't see. I haven't seen any proof that Valorant is especially popular with more women. I have seen, of course, a bunch of VTubers play Apex.
Oh yeah, VTubers fucking love Apex.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, if we're going to slightly different topic, I said we would move on, but I'll stretch this out. VTubers are the VTuber avatar is a very good thing to hide your identity behind and not get harassed as much and have a little bit of a shield. So I think that VTubers in that sense gives them a more accurate view of what the women like to play. And it turns out they also like to play some fighting games. They also like to play the Apex,
the first person shooters,
the games that you wouldn't necessarily expect. And of course, Selene from Nretsew.exe is big.
Oh yeah, she was a pro, yeah.
And of course, a bunch of Hololive. I believe that Aqua is also like a big diamond.
Botan used to be pro, and I think retired, and that's why Botan is like super good at like Battlefield and stuff. So,
yeah. So the thing is that although the women aren't as visible in the gaming spaces, probably because of harassment. If you give them if you give them more protection against harassment, they'll pop up. They'll show themselves.
And yeah, Apex is apparently pretty popular in Japan as well. So
yeah, but of course, Selene and other people also play.
Not Japan,
Japanese.
Japan ECA region. Yeah, but anyway, let's get through this.
Stuff like this, and the female player base is huge compared to fighting games. Imagine being a curious young boy. Maybe you're sick of Call of Duty. Maybe you're sick of Fortnite, sick of Madden. You see a Street Fighter stream with a 5-figure view count. Right as you click on it, you see this. And now you have to explain it to your mother who just walked in.
Again, parents.
I mean, it's like he said, this person doesn't exist. This has never happened. This has never happened. This is ridiculous.
And it's a super move that's over in the next 3 seconds, and then it's people beating each other up again.
Yeah. Show you a study that estimates the number of people who.
Oh, we got a study.
I love studies.
Yeah, here we go.
Skip out on fighting games just because of explicit content, but I think it's a reasonable.
Oh, he said he doesn't have a study.
Can you go back so we can hear it?
I thought he said he had a study. All right, that's it.
And now you have to explain it to your mother who just walked in. I cannot show you a study that.
I cannot show. I thought he said I can. Damn it!
We heard what we wanted to hear.
We got cock blocked. we got study cock blocked, Ellie.
I love studies. I want every study, and then I'll read the study, and then I'll see. Oh, this study was bad. Good to know.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, yeah, of course he can't find a study. All right, let's let him make his point.
Estimates the number of people who skip out on fighting games just because of explicit content, but I think it's a reasonable conclusion given the arguments that I have laid forth today.
Well, my argument is Baldur's Gate. My argument is Baldur's Gate 3, and I've seen the woman YouTubers hide their game screen for a second to see their characters naked and having a great time.
Ellie, what's my source?
I made it up.
My source is I made it the fuck up.
It came to me in a dream.
It came to me in a dream, yeah. His source is that he made it the fuck up, which is basically what that was, because he's like, oh, this is a reasonable, like, the arguments I've made. Like, Ellie, what arguments has he actually made in the last, 4 minutes?
Alright, so in regards to the sexiness, right?
Yeah.
He assumes that his girlfriend wouldn't like seeing it.
Yeah, he didn't, yeah.
And his parents would be disappointed.
Therefore, very sad. That means that thousands upon billions of women would play Street Fighter if only you couldn't see the girl's feet.
Yeah.
Billions, trillions, even. And then also there was the argument of, well, censorship totally doesn't matter because look at Skullgirls. But censorship totally matters, though. You know, that's his argument. It's
well,
like
the argument
totally doesn't matter, but it totally matters.
That's a justification. The argument is I think my girlfriend wouldn't like it seeing the sexy girls.
So yeah. God, this guy's such an idiot.
Look at him pointing. Look at him pointing. Look, sexy bad.
He's pointing at the source that he made. But anyway, let's continue.
Nick30's trending right now. He's a popular Fortnite streamer who tries very, very hard to be family friendly. I think it's admirable that he clocks into work and tries to make gaming accessible to children in a safe way.
What? How is this?
Oh, I've seen this bit. You can play on.
Okay. As his clips have been going around, people have been making fun of him for being cringy. I mean, all children's entertainment's cringy, so I don't really get the joke.
You're the king. I'm the king. You in what army? Oh, crap.
But really, all I could think about is how Nick30 could not exist as a Street Fighter content creator today. Assuming there was a market of Fortnite-aged children ready to watch a family-friendly Street Fighter streamer, there isn't, it would be extremely difficult to keep a stream family-friendly.
That's the argument.
What? What? Ellie, what's the age rating on Street Fighter?
I don't know, something like 16.
Yeah. So what the fuck does he mean, family friendly? It is family friendly. It's 16
in that
plus,
sense, in that sense, I would think that Fortnite may be a little bit higher age rating because it's
because doesn't Fortnite
big shooting,
have more violence?
But then of course they teleport away.
I'm just like, I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, because that was just the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life. Like, what do you mean? Like, Street Fighter's not family friendly? What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, the PEGI is 12. I'll check the ESBR.
Wait, so what is that? Street Fighter?
Street Fighter, yeah, is 12.
There you go. It's 12. It's rated 12. Like, what do you mean it's not family friendly? How can a game that's rated like 12 not be family friendly? Like, I'm pretty sure, like in New Zealand, it would probably be like G or something. It would probably be like, well, I don't know. I can have a look actually. If I go, it's probably like, what is it? 6? I think it's 6.
ESBR.
I'll figure it out in a second because it'll probably tell me on the. Actually, I'd have to go on
what teen with which age teen starts.
Let me go on to Steam real quick.
Oh yeah, you probably have the PEGI because I have the.
No, New Zealand has its own ratings. It's complicated. it's a little bit
Oh yeah, if your breasts are too small, then you're banned.
Shut up.
Is it true?
Street Fighters, maybe. I don't want to get into it because I would. Do you want to have me rant for 2 hours about the rating system?
Don't worry. No, go ahead.
What does it say? The fucking rating should have a rating on Steam, but it doesn't.
It's under the. It's under. It's a. I
see the Metacritic.
So under single player, multiplayer, and all the EULAs, and then the languages, I see the rating.
I don't see a rating. So maybe it hasn't been rated. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point is, like, if it's rated teen or it's rated 12 plus, right? That's fucking.
Oh yeah, like, so come on. Teen is 13 up. Europe says 12 up.
So let's just say like 12 plus, right? Like,
yeah,
just in general. Like if it's a game that's rated 12 plus, then that's family friendly. Okay, like, I'm sorry, like you can't. Like,
Also,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but like, you can't. Like, are we going to make the argument that something that's rated like G or PG is like not family? Like PG, even though it's parental guidance recommended, that is still family friendly because that's, you know, obviously parental guidance would need to happen. But at the same time, you can be relatively safe that outside of, I don't know, a little bit of violence or maybe a little bit of cleavage or whatever, it's relatively fine to let your kid watch it, right? So I don't know where he's coming from with this whole, apparently it's not family friendly. If it wasn't family friendly, it would be like R18 or something, you know?
Yeah, I'm very much furiously looking up the PEGI, the more detailed PEGI rating, because I see on the American version I see suggestive themes, and I don't see any in Europe.
Oh, suggestive themes. Oh no. Well, you do that for a sec while I fill up a glass of water so my throat doesn't dry out.
Street Fighter 6, PEGI. Should go to the PEGI site here. The Pan-European Game Information. Street Fighter 6. Zoek. La 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 la. Specific issues, violence, the use of the word shit, their in-game purchases, and there's violence. No. Europeans don't think this game is sexy. And Americans do. So there you have it. I believe for 6.5, the ESPN Street Fighter tournament, I don't know at all. My assumption is that it's cancelled by now because money is tighter.
So, what does your research come be the fruit of your research?
My research says that Europe doesn't think Street Fighter 6 is sexy at all, and Americans do.
America bad.
America sees skin and thinks sex. Europe sees skin and don't care at all.
God, I think this must be an American thing. But anyway, we're almost there. We've only got a few minutes left, so let's see if we can blitz for it.
Would you dodge every Cammy and Jury?
Okay, go.
Well, that's probably not going to.
Okay, you'll go back because it's skipping forward a little bit. It's kind of annoying.
Oh, is it? Okay. There you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually,
Be extremely difficult to keep your stream family friendly. Would you dodge every classic Cammy and Jury? Well, that's probably not going to work out too well. All you could really do is mod your game so much that all of the risque options are taken out of it, which is literally impossible on PlayStation.
What the feet? Okay, yes, foot fetish
the feet is
real.
A meme, I believe, but you know.
But this is the point he's making, right? It's like, oh, you have to mod all of the sexually suggestive stuff out of the game, including the feet, right? It's like,
oh, impossible on PlayStation.
Well, yeah, because you can't mod games on PlayStation. Well, you can, but it's not. That's a completely different topic.
Burdersome.
Well, Skyrim, I know a bit about how that works on Skyrim, and I know why that's the case. So, it's not worth getting into because it's going to take time. But basically, the TLDR is like, his argument here is like, oh yeah, you can't make the game family friendly unless you cover up all the skin with mods. But it's again like, why? Like, I just fundamentally cannot understand how he thinks this isn't family friendly. Like, this is the most family friendly thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, yeah, foot fetishists are probably going to be like, oh, wow, her feet, whatever. But it's like, you know, that's an interesting thing. Was, I don't know if you watched, Pippa had a rant on his stream the other day. I posted the clip of it in the VTuber
No,
chat.
not all.
So she was talking about how the chat needed to get bonked because she was talking about like how owning a big dog makes people feel safe or whatever, and people immediately just started making white girl jokes in the chat. And she was like, guys, And she was like, guys, we weren't even talking about anything sexual or joking about the meme. Like, calm the fuck down, right? Because, so chat needed to get bonked because they're seeing something that's not there, right? Like, she's not making, like, it's the most loose thread of a tangential relation to the joke humanly possible. And it shouldn't be the case that every time she brings up, like, dogs or whatever, everyone just starts spamming white girl jokes. I feel the same thing's happening here, where it's like, yeah, people that are into her feet are gonna,
no.
feet. But if you're just a normal fucking person, right, you don't give a shit if she's barefoot. Like,
no,
because normal people don't have a sexual thing with feet. They don't care.
No, Yuri is weird, and she uses her feet, which is weird because she's crazy like that.
Yeah,
walking
but
on
like
bare feet on the streets of London.
But again, it's like that's not inherently it's not depending on how you look at it, right? But that's what I mean. Like, it's not it shouldn't be an inherently sexual thing, right? It's kind of like what you're saying with the Europeans versus the Americans in the skin. It's like, just because they're showing skin doesn't make it inherently sexual. You know?
No, like I said, Marissa is a very much a Greek-Roman gladiator. She said her wrestling is from the olden Greek times, which is supposed to be performed.
Sorry, I'm reading Samu's messages.
Yeah. So Marissa is doing ancient Greek wrestling, which is supposed to be done nude, but she unfortunately she has to wear clothing. And then I go to myself, damn, it's a shame she can't be nude because that's what she wants to. And if there was some, of course you can mod it. But even if I were to mod Marissa to be nude, then it's very kind of this is just, she's fighting now the way she wants to fight. This is barely sexual. Not that she's that she has any big breasts or anything, but it kind of removes.
She's a wrestler, so you know.
Yeah, but it very much removes the sexiness out of her nudeness when she's time to beat you up. I'm wrestling. And I don't. The American mind can't comprehend.
We can't. Yeah, us non-Americans, we can't understand the prudes. But anyway.
PlayStation. Fortnite and Street Fighter are both T for teens, but sometimes it feels like they're worlds away in appropriateness.
Oh yeah, he says that they're both teen games.
They're both teen games. There's nothing like, okay, look, I don't have any problem with either of these, right? Like both of these are fine. There's no problem with either of them. They're both the same level of lewd to me, at least. I mean, obviously, like, the Fortnite one is more covered, right? But to me, there's no real discern. Like, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
it's the same. Oh, they gave her camo latex that's skin tight. You know, like.
I don't want to bash on the Americans too much, but really they need to get over skin.
They need to get over this shit, man. Like, come on, guys. You're meant to be the world hegemon. You gotta.
Yeah, you're the cultural. You dictate culture for everybody in the Anglosphere and beyond. You need to get get woke or something. I don't care.
Yeah, like this is fucking ridiculous. Like God.
Some games probably should never be changed. Explicit content is the identity of games like Mortal Kombat and Dead or Alive. For games that appeal to a wider audience like Street Fighter,
okay, so he inherently understands the idea of different.
But they need to be pushed into their own niche.
Yeah, they need to be. We need to put them in the closet, and we need to lock them away in the closet, and the real fighting game boys can play the real mass appeal goy slop or whatever.
Yeah, the
whatever.
whole...
I probably shouldn't say goy slop considering recent events.
I don't know what it means. So you're saying...
it's a 4chan poll thing apparently.
Oh.
It's been going around on Twitter, so it's in my brain. So I did an offensive thing. It's linked to that whole like Happy Merchant thing, if you ever seen that. It's a little bit linked to that. Because the idea is it's like mass appeal commercial slop pumped out by the conspiracy, stuff to make you docile or whatever. Some shit.
Blame
like I said,
that's the capitalists. So blame them.
Yeah. But like it's goy because
goy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get what I mean.
Anti-Semitic.
The goy slop. Yeah. Whoops. Poll. Whoops. It's poll.
Poll should be deleted. Actually.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
matter. Yeah, 4chan has lost its luster.
Yeah. Well, I got it from Twitter, so
Oh yeah.
I don't
Twitter's
even
the new poll.
People have been using it like I think Short Fat Otaku was talking about it in a video about like how it's been kind of it's weird how things start off being extremely like racist or sexist or offensive, and then it kind of gets filtered and then becomes now it's just used to describe commercial mass appeal slop, right?
Yeah, but it still has a conspiracy anti-Semitic thing, so it's kind of still bad.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it in context, so it should be fine. But basically, the real fighting game people are going to play their mass commercial appeal,
And if you have skin or breasts, then you have to be in the corner in the cubicle away from sight.
Yeah.
Behind the curtains.
Yeah. But anyway, let's move on before I say something else offensive.
I think there's a couple options. Although the ideal scenario would be putting love into new costumes that make sense for each character, taking extreme measures like removing costumes from a game that's already out is a little unrealistic. I think in this case, a more modular approach to a game like Street Fighter 6, which just came out, would go a long way. What if Capcom put their heads together and identified the most risque costumes, which is harder than you would think, and hid them behind a slider or setting?
How's that any different to what's already... Like, you can mod stuff now.
Well, not on PlayStation.
Well, not on PlayStation. Who cares about PlayStation? But, like... What the fuck? Like, this is literally... Like, he's just arguing for the status quo now. Like, that's basically what it is. Like, he even mentioned, like, the original Cammy costume or whatever. Isn't that, like, locked behind, like, an achievement or something?
No, it's behind lots of points or a lot of grinding or a lot of story gameplay.
Yeah. So how is that any different?
Well, then you don't...
like, just having a setting.
Then you don't have to see it accidentally when your parents walk in.
Oh, no.
When your girlfriend is watching, he's flirting with you. She's undressing a little bit, but then God, game character has skin.
Going. This shit like this is why fighting games and the fighting game community doesn't get taken seriously. I'm gonna do a U and talk about Baldur's Gate again.
Yeah,
for
go
50th
ahead.
Time, because make the same argument about Baldur's Gate. You're sitting in the lounge and you're playing Baldur's Gate on the television, and all of a sudden, it's just beer sex.
So
you look into Baldur's Gate, and it's just beer sex.
Well, there are like two different levels of general censorship in that sense, that you can either have...
Well, yeah, but I'm not talking about like, okay, I'm just saying, like, let's say you forgot to switch the setting or whatever, right?
Yeah, all right.
Whatever, right? You didn't know about the setting at all or something, right? And you're just sitting in the lounge and you're playing the Baldur's Gate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your mum walks in and sees the beer sex, right? How is that any different? How is that literally... There's no difference between that and this, right?
Yeah.
Yet... have you seen anyone make these same arguments for Baldur's Gate at all?
Well, maybe because there is a setting.
Maybe because there is a setting, but like, I'm saying, like, I don't hear anyone saying things like, oh, there shouldn't be all of these sexy outfits in Baldur's Gate. There shouldn't be walking in on the ogre and the thing having sex in the shed or whatever. There shouldn't be the bear sex. There shouldn't be the thing. Like, I haven't seen people. This makes me uncomfortable. You know, like this makes my girlfriend uncomfortable. It makes my parents like, I haven't heard any of those arguments about Baldur's Gate, like censorship toggle or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why, like, and like, I would think that means that Baldur's Gate is more adult than these bloody wussy babies in the fighting game community.
Oh yeah, right? I mean, I have high praises.
The moment they see a hint of cleavage, they fucking act like petulant little babies. They cry in their little prams, and they go, "Wah, wah! Oh no, I saw her feet, Ellie. Oh, wah, wah! I need a censorship toggle. Wah, wah, wah!" Like, we're not even talking about stuff that, like, if like a censorship ratings board looks at it, we're talking about like a government official PG.
The whole
whatever,
European
right?
Union has judged it.
The entirety of the European Union looks at the game and it goes, this is suitable for 12 plus or whatever, right? It has a little bit of suggestive content. It's got a bit of violence
not to the
in
European.
It, you know.
The Americans say, oh, it's a little bit suggestive. Oh, the Europeans
say, it's a little bit suggestive. You know, it's got a little bit of violence in it or whatever. You know,
bad
like
language.
You know, whatever. Like, if the board that is specifically designed to categorize and rate things based on content and also lead to censorship or whatever, right, says it's fine, where's the problem? Where is the problem?
Well, unless you, of
like,
course,
nothing.
You can, of course, always disagree with big government telling what is.
Well, yeah, you can, obviously, and I disagree with the rating board decisions a lot, right? But I'm just saying, like when it comes to content this mild, right? We're not talking about like flat out sex or beer sex or nudity or anything. It's literally just, oh, you can see her thighs, right?
Yeah.
Her thighs are apparently not safe for work. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah. I have some points, but I'll save it for the end. In a general point.
All right, let's keep going.
Kind of like a parental guidance built into the game. PG mode. If your opponent is wearing a censored costume, PG mode will randomly change it to an approved costume. This setting would even accommodate players who would quit if explicit content was removed, since it doesn't apply to them. Maybe all of Capcom's official tournaments are run in PG mode, so potential viewers can watch gameplay without being immediately turned off by an optional costume. If this actually...
God, he's such a fucking prude. Jesus Christ. I don't want to like devolve into like personal insults or anything. Like, I really don't want to do that, but it's like, it's really hard because he's not actually making any good arguments. He's just, it is literally just my sensibilities, my feels. This makes me uncomfortable. We have to get rid of it, you know? But anyway, we'll blitz through. We've only got like 2 minutes left. We'll see what the ending is, and then we'll go read some chats and then maybe talk about Twitter shit.
Actually became effective at bringing new players in, maybe community tournaments would use PG mode. Yes, PG mode is already possible with mods, but I believe official support would only grow the player base. I think it would be silly.
I know, but I want to make the point. I'm not actually even against this. I don't like if you want your baby, if you, Mr. Baby fighting game man,
want all your PB, NSB, whatever.
You freak out when you see thighs or whatever. If you want your official baby mode for babies.
Oh,
right?
The TV advertisers don't like skin.
Oh yeah, the TV advertisers. Yeah, if you need your baby mode for babies, then I don't have necessarily a problem with that, right? If they want to add the baby mode for the babies, and you can use your baby mode, that's fine. I just want you to then shut the fuck up about you. If you get your baby mode for babies, I never want to hear you complaining about sexual content or whatever you consider sexual content in the game ever again. Right?
Yeah, but
shut up.
Even if you have this option, would that bring in the women?
Probably not.
No, it doesn't really feel like that.
Well, we already dismissed that argument wholesale, so it's like, it's not gonna I just I'm not against there being toggles or modes or uncensor or censor codes or whatever the devs want to put in the game, right? I'm not against that. But if you get that and you don't make use of that option, then in my opinion you lose the right basically to go, this shouldn't be in the game, this is evil, blah, blah, blah. It's like, just use your baby mode. If you don't want to see it, you don't have to see it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's finish up.
I mean, this should, you're right.
Silly for me to leave the fact that I'm talking about censoring what each character is wearing while beating each other unconscious. It's ironic, but for some reason we're okay with violence but not sexuality. In GTA, you could literally commit.
My European sensibilities, right?
For some reason we're okay, dude. Maybe you should start with yourself. Maybe you should become more okay with sexual content.
So Nretsew,
maybe you should be less of a fucking prude.
Do you want some insight into the European mind?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the life of? Have you ever seen the life of Brian?
I maybe when I was really young. I haven't rewatched
the Monty Python.
Yeah,
movie.
I know what it is. I haven't. Yeah, it would have been a long time ago.
In one scene, Brian has sex with a girl, whatnot, and he gets caught by his mother, and he and the girl get caught by Brian's mother.
Right.
They're both naked in the movie, full frontal, nothing censored, except that the woman has pubes in that sense, but it's still full breasts, full body naked.
Yeah.
My parents thought, oh, good young Alinus, good young Ellie, he can watch this. This is completely fine. Then there was Dragon Ball on the TV, and there was a lot of fighting, and my parents said to me, no, Ellie, that's too violent.
Yeah.
For the European mind, the insight into the European mind.
I love 6'5". I was like, I can feel Nretsew's aura now. I am projecting that rage. I'm fucking. I hate these people. I hate these people so much.
But just to give a little bit of contrast to what's been said on the video, where he says, we're fine with people beating each other up, but sexiness should be regulated or whatever. I, of course, have the opposite childhood, where my violence intake was regulated to, that's too much, and my nudity you can see whatever nudity you want.
And you turned out fine, so...
Yeah, I'm a YouTuber. No, I'm not really.
Yeah.
I have actual job and a house and a mortgage.
We have you turned out fine. You're a based homeowner, so
yeah. I have property.
Yeah, you have responsibilities and things that you need to do, and stuff. But it's I hate that. I hate this shit. I hate how he doesn't see that he's part of the problem, right? Like you just stop. Just stop fucking getting hype. Just stop caring. If it's not a big deal, like if I'm just repeating myself. So we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Just a little bit longer.
The most heinous, savage, insane crimes. It's M for mature. But once they found hot coffee, they decided to rate the game adults only. There's just a certain taboo around sexuality that we as a society do not keep the same energy for when it comes to violence, especially in our entertainment. When I propose these changes, I don't want to make it seem like sexuality should be hidden.
He kind of does, though. Yeah.
You fucking... No.
He has big cultural imperial American isms going on.
Okay, we got to finish this video, or I'm gonna fucking blow a fucking vein in my skull. Okay, I gotta get through this.
And violence is a-okay. I'm just trying to think of ways to expand the audience in the world we already live in. Thank you.
The American world only, really.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, Ellie, why did I inflict this physical pain upon myself? Why did I do this?
You said you wanted this video.
I said I wanted this. Why did I do this to myself? This baby, this absolute child does not understand that, hey, maybe you should push for that change in society. Maybe you should be one of the people like me that says, you know what? Being able to see Cammy's thighs is fine. Stop being a baby. Stop being a little whiny little brat. All right? Fucking just... He's part of the problem, Ellie.
Yeah, he very much is.
It's God. But I just want the mass appeal. I just want more people to play the thing that I... No. What's the quote? They're getting into it for the wrong reasons. No, I don't. I want my hobbies to be niche. I want my hobbies to have as least people playing them as humanly possible. Right? I want my hobbies to be a nice, healthy community of people that are sane individuals that can distinguish fiction from reality, that are able to play the game with the anime boobs and not get hyper autistic about bloody nonsense, all right? I want to be able to live in a world where I'm allowed to like the things that I like without random-ass people wanting to censor them and get rid of content because, we got to appeal to the wider audience, Ellie. We got to appeal to... I need to have 20 gazillion womans playing my game, otherwise it's bad. It's bad that not every single female on the planet plays Street Fighter, okay? It's like, dude, it's so fucking tiring and so ridiculous having to deal with these people who want to destroy artistic expression and freedom because of their own dumb friggin' cultural, moral, imposed sensibility bullshit, right? Fuck off. All right, I'm done. I got it out. I got it out. I had to get it out. I had to get it out. Is
it like 30 seconds left? I'm guessing. I think
he's about to do his outro.
Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. I would love to get your perspective if you're a long-time player, if you're
you just got my perspective.
Casual, especially if you're a parent or a female gamer or a woman gamer. So yeah, that's all I have. Have a good one. Thank you so much.
Never back down, never what?
False. So if you are... Women and female are different things, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Woman or female. Anyway. There you go. I don't even think I need to do final thoughts. I think my rant just...
I reserved some final thoughts in that his whole basis is super shaky. Because it's all based on what he thinks people will think of him when they see Cammy. What his girlfriend might think of when he sees him playing as Armika. What he thinks the world, what the world would think, what the world sees when he sees skin on Yuri's feet. And then, of course, there's the whole premise of if you remove sexy, then women gamer. But of course, something like Call of Duty has zero sexiness at all. And also, for what I understand, to be not many female gamers. So it's not the sexiness that's the problem. It's the very toxic Xbox Live community that's driving the women away.
Well, you don't have that these days, but back in the day, that was
that
was one of the most fun parts of Call of Duty back in the day when I was playing Black Ops 2 on the 360, being on the Xbox Live chat and just absolutely unleashing the gamer words at all the kiddies, the guild kiddies and stuff. Oh, it was fun. It was great.
Alright, I've gotten an urgent request from chat.
Yes, I saw that Samu. I saw that Samu wanted us to look at the comments, which is probably going to make me want to die. While you bring that up, I'm just going to scroll up a little bit because there were some comments that we didn't really address.
Go ahead. I have it on screen.
He just wants the censored, less sexy version of the official default option while you grind to get the stuff he dislikes. Yep, 650 is like my sensibilities. Like very few women would want to have a guy who finds sexy women unattractive because that says a lot about what he does find attractive. Yep, that's true. The other thing is that if he finds skin alone in SFW, he's probably full-on gooner with no self-control. That's another valid point. A lot of that stuff does tend to be projection. Yeah, that's true. Message retracted. Ooh, Coffee Milk retracted his message. That was.
Oh, should I
wonder what that was? Nah. We don't need to do that. If he retracted it, he probably did it for a reason. I must have missed it.
Missed out, whatever.
He just wants the devs to loudly pound it to him and declare how official and default the baby mode is. Yep, that's a good point. Man, yeah, NSP been on point in the chat. He's been making some good points. There needs to exist a fighting game franchise even sexier than Dead or Alive. I agree. There probably is. It's probably on Steam still. I don't know if it came out. There was a fighting game that was in development that was a bondage fighting game. So all of the characters were in like bondage get up.
Mm-hmm.
They had their hands like you'd have one that had like their hands tied in like a Simbari, right? And like chains and stuff. And they would all fight with like different styles of like I don't remember what it was called, but it was on Steam. It was some kind of like bondage fighting game. So that was pretty sexy. Countries have different standards and that's fine. However, why the Americans the most loudest about it? I don't hear this shit from other countries. Yeah, right. True.
But America has the power to kind of enforce their morality.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, my eternal example is my RuneScape experience, where.
So.
Well, you talk a lot, Nretsew, so let me talk for a minute.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And my RuneScape experience, where when I type in, I'll type it in chat actually. Let's go. I would innocently type this sentence. You might imagine how a English swear filter might see this.
Oh yeah.
So eternally, I have experienced I have suffered under the cultural imperialism of the English language.
It reminds me of Apex Legends. Do you remember how there was a thing about Japanese players getting banned because they were saying a word or typing a word that looked suspiciously? Yeah.
Oh, which means to run.
To run, but it suspiciously like a certain other word that we can't say.
And of course, they might misspell it at times. Nigger.
Yeah. But so Samu wants you to find the comment that says censorship is never the answer to anything bad take.
Yeah, I have it on the screen.
All right, let me bring the stream up on full screen so I can actually see it and read it.
Yeah, Nretsew is also watching the stream to inflate numbers.
I have the I have to have the chat open, so I have it on my other monitor, right? So censorship is never the answer to anything bad take. And then you've got. This doesn't really refute my argument at all. Also, I disagree with it. Well, I mean, I hope my ranting and rambling this entire cast is enough of a refutation.
If it was so bad, you would were able to refute it with facts and logic.
Ben Shapiro. God, I don't even know how to do a Ben Shapiro impression. What would it be? It would be something like I'm gonna refute you with facts and logic. Liberal owned.
You will be able to refute me with facts and logic. That's that's what I mentioned. I never really heard of him speak.
Facts and logic, bro. He thinks he's Ben Shapiro of Street Fighter. What's this bigger comment here? Out of all of the takes I've ever heard about what needs to change about fighting games, this has to be one of the worst. If you I can't read that word because it's 720p, so I can't it's on my big screen.
I don't know what to tell you. The last time I felt as comfortable as you described in the video about playing Ironica.
I was like 13 years old.
When I was 13 years old.
You're making it sound like on a fundamental level, you felt like this was the equivalent of watching porn in front of your family.
Oh, it's even bigger.
Definitely not the same. Also, changes made to schoolgirls were for completely different motivations. And had you... Oh, God, there's more to the comment. Holy shit. But I get the gist, though. I get the gist. That seems like a pretty based individual. We know that you want to scream racial slurs, but actually less women in bikinis catering to the creators' fetishes in video gamers.
Oh, what a terrible... Oh, give your thoughts and... Oh, I want debate. Oh, do you think child pornography shouldn't be censored? Oh, absolute.
You know, this is... Oh my God, this is going to get into a really sensitive topic for YouTube, but I find a lot of the time with these kinds of people, especially when it comes to, like, you know, the lolly and the anime discussions around PDF file stuff, as I like to call it, right?
Yeah.
They don't actually understand why CP is wrong. Ellie, because you understand why CP is wrong, right?
Yeah.
You know why, like, everyone in the chat should understand that there's a very... Like, the big reason why CP is wrong is that it's a fucking crime. It is a video of a crime being committed, and it is perpetuating that crime being committed. It is a horrific act. It's like, you know, it's like I shouldn't even have to explain it. You know, you shouldn't have to explain it. So I'm not going to explain it because it's uncomfortable to even talk about, right? And that's the actual reaction that you should have. But for some reason, you have people like this that think that the only reason that it's bad is because it's gross. You know? Like, they seem to think that, oh, it's morally wrong solely because it's gross, right? Whereas, no, the reason that it's so bad is this, like, fucking... Just because something's gross doesn't make it as horrifically heinous as actual CP.
Well, Nretsew, have you ever considered banning the CP would hurt the Catholic priests?
Have you ever considered banning children?
But no, but if you ban children, the Catholic priests are going to be outraged.
Yeah, but what about the Hooters in the Catholic? But yeah.
I want to say.
I want to scroll down some more. I have to wait for the delay because of the stream. I want to see people's responses to that absolutely stupid comment.
Oh, sorry.
I know I could bring up the video myself and look, but I kind of just want to.
Where was it?
The CP one. I want to.
It's very odd because I can't really click. This is a logical fallacy. It's illegal.
There it is. Wait. I see it. Yeah, I see it.
These two are...
Okay. First, it's a logical fallacy known as appeal to extremes. Doesn't help your argument. Second, yes! Yeah, see, this guy gets it. Your statement implies that you're okay. You're okay if it exists as long as it's censored.
It's not an extreme when the original statement is extreme. My example isn't extreme as you use me as an example comparison.
This is so fucking shit. This is the dumbest. Man, Samu, thank you so much for telling us to look at the comments, because this is great. You use CP as a comparison to fictional female characters. And his only response is just incorrect. Incorrect.
I should do this. It looks ugly, but it makes it thing.
Yeah, incorrect. Yeah, just have like giant pixelated incorrect. Oh yeah, that helps. Yeah, zooming in. Yeah, brilliant. It actually looks really good. Yeah, I have to agree with Darth. I think comparing CP with female fighting game characters is a bit extreme. CP has nothing to do with these games, so I don't know why he brought it up. Yeah. Why did he bring it up?
Does he? Oh, now he's going to something else. Something different.
He's making a comparison to make the concept of sexualized women in games worse than it really is by associating it with CP. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, I had some intellectual respect for another man's opinion on the subject of fighting games and censorship, but now I don't really anymore.
Yeah, the comparison is telling. Yeah, he's like, it's. I can't believe that shit, dude. That's fucking insane. That's insane, dude.
Oh yeah.
God, now
all right. Let me give my final thoughts, because I didn't.
Yeah. Sorry.
I distracted myself with comments. Don't worry about it.
All right. Let you do your final thoughts. Yeah.
So my final thoughts. Women are the monolith. They are of a singular mind, and they are definitely going to come to fighting games if and only when the sexiness is removed. I know this to be true. My evidence is because I think so. That's basically
my sources. I made it the fuck up.
My sources is I made it up. Oh god.
Yeah. So final comments before we leave. Samu says it hurts children. Simple. Yeah, it hurts children. Simple as. There you go. That's simple, easy. It's not difficult. You'd think it would be easy to understand, but apparently not. And then he didn't lose the argument with that comparison. He lost the rights to an opinion. Yeah. That's insane. So yeah,
you lost my respect with that opinion.
So anyway, how do you feel? What do we want to do now? Do we want to do some? I don't have any Pacific. I could go on Twitter right now and see if there's anything Pacific.
Yeah. Still kind of work in progress. This stream, of course. So
we kind of like we want to try and have like a pseudo format where it's like
some segments.
Like we do a video, and then maybe we do some Twitter drama, or maybe we just cover some
not even Twitter drama. I might do you have something to share or whatever, then
something to share. Well, so maybe as a palate cleanser, right?
Yes.
Even though we're probably going to get banned because it's Azur Lane. How do you feel about looking at some Azur Lane ships?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Maybe
so I'll put it in the pop chat because I have their Twitter open, so I can just put the links on
screen. So many monitors I have, so many things. So the notifications I don't have to turn off, so people hear.
So they had an April Fool's ship that was I can't remember what her name was, but it was I think it was Tempest, the galleon or something. They had her come out, and she was pretty popular. So now they're doing a full set of ships that are based off good old timey sailing ships. So let's see what Ellie has to say, because playing into the racial stereotypes. You're a based Dutch man. You like the trade and the ships and the and the naval conquest of the great seas.
Can you pause
Just like
real
I'm
quick?
a Kiwi. Yep.
Can you pause posting, because I need to actually turn on streamer mode because people don't want to hear the notifications.
Yeah, that would have been kind of bad. Yeah.
Well, they have heard the notifications already, so too bad for them.
Oh shit.
Alright, click.
Right, I'm not done yet. I'll just grab. I'll just slowly grab all of them while.
No, you can post them now if you want.
Okay, yeah.
I don't see
There's
any
only a few
Dutch ships from maybe the San Salo Martino.
And I think that's it because
Portuguese.
now it gets in.
No, it's
I
not.
think that's it because now it gets into Halloween skins and some stuff. So I think that's all of the new ships. I think so. Let's we can play. Oh yeah, I can leave the watch together too.
Yeah.
So let me bring. Oh, where did it go? There it is. So here's some. How do you rate these ship girls?
Well,
what do you think?
as an I think Golden Hint looks very good. I'm looking at the ships, the actual ships as well. So the Golden Hint was the British ship from Francis Drake.
Ooh.
I don't know what Francis Drake actually did. I mean, he's a big name.
I know. Yeah. Drake. It's a familiar name. I'm sure there's some really good history.
It was renamed in the middle of the journey. Francis Drake. Francis Drake was a guy who circumnavigated the world. All right, so he went around the world.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so I like the design. I quite like the Kraken. We got a lot of these have sort of like Kraken sea monster aesthetics. They're quite nice. The dress is really kind of cool. How it kind of,
very we lost at sea vibes.
I think it's because they're going for like a Halloween kind of aesthetic with these because it's a Halloween, because the last one was like April Fools, I think. It was like oh, we'll do an oldie ship, and now they're doing it for Halloween, so they're all kind of based on that kind of aesthetic. So yeah, I'd say Golden Hind is pretty good. I quite like that one. So
next up is the Sao Martino. Let me just look up, because of course the Dutch did have a little bit of fighting with the San Martin. They fought against the British at some point. That's the main thing.
Well, while you do that, in terms of the design, I quite like the. She's got that kind of biblically accurate angel look going.
Yeah.
She's got those eyes on the wings, and she's also got the Darkest Dungeon halo going on as well.
Yeah, the Iron Crown, as they call it in the game.
She's also she's also a little chocolate too, which is quite nice.
The Portuguese sun. I think I don't really, in a sense of design matching with the ship. I don't really feel this ship has three masts. The ship on the background is broken. I don't really feel that the ship is appropriate for having a three-masted ship. This ship doesn't really look to be that big or that impressive on the background.
Well, 650 rates her a 7.
Well, the character, yeah, but I'm being very overly technical at the moment.
You're being very autistic, yeah, just like me. I do like the lighter light aesthetic in that. Yeah, she's got that kind of, like I said, it's angelic sort of feel.
Yeah, the Portuguese were of course a very big sea naval faring nation, on the same level as the British at the time. So they are justified in having representation in this. and some because many of the naval powers are northern or middle Europe, Western European.
Yeah,
they're all very
Spain,
light skinned, and of course, if they're doing a Halloween thing, even lighter skin, pale skin for the scariness, also
the horror aesthetic. All right, yeah, so I'd rate it pretty good. And then we've got Mary Celeste.
Mary Celeste Blue. That sounds like a very British ship.
It does sound very British. I posted them in order of how they were.
Oh, it's an American
announced,
ship, a merchant ship.
Oh, merchant ship. Oh.
Doesn't feel
she's got a. It's an interesting. It's very risque. You know, lots of skin exposed.
Oh yeah.
She's
the woman won't like this.
Yeah, the ripped front, you know. I do like the kind of almost, you know, it's like, you know how Naked Apron is really sexy, Naked Jacket is also very sexy. So yeah. I quite like the aesthetic she's got going on right here. Very, very nice with the blues and the dark blues going on. She's, you know, she's got the same Kraken kind of aesthetic as well. The tentacles and the that stuff going on. So I think she's quite nice. I think she's very, very nice.
Yeah. Voila. This sounds very Irish.
Wow. Here's the cunny ship.
as you do.
Here is your designated cunny ship for the series. She is very sleepy cunny. Giving me kind of Ina vibes, actually, a little bit.
It is a British ship. It's also a slave ship. Very much.
Oh, no! No!
And afterwards, it was a pirate ship.
Okay, so very,
crime-ridden history.
Very weird, very, naughty girl, I guess. Oh no. But anyway, no, she's cute. I like her. She's kind of cute.
Oh yeah, big dress, oversized dress, always good.
Oversized dress, big hat, big. You know, the octopuses kind of reminded a little bit of Ina. You know, the white.
Yeah, she stole that. She said that thing. Well, of course, it existed beforehand. But oh look, she has cute shark slippers.
Yeah, and the shark slippers too is very, very nice. And I think the last one we've got is Adventure Gully, which is one I think I've heard before. I think I've heard about Adventure Gully before. I have to.
I only really heard of San Martin because of.
I see a comment. I see a comment in the Twitter chat that says, or the Twitter comments that says, this was this very ship that was sailed by the one and only William Kidd. Who I don't actually know who that is because I need to know my history.
It's very much
bad ship, so she needs correction.
Where do you scroll down?
Thanks 650. Thanks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it might be different on your Twitter than my.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, I see here William Kidd comment.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I see it on the screen. You passed it. William Kidd.
I don't see your correction, unfortunately.
No, that was in the chat. That was in the
sorry
chat. That was 650.
Bad. Oh yeah, of course.
That was 50 saying that. So anyway, moving on to Adventure Gully. Adventure Gully is a very nice design.
I mean, plain white dress is always good.
So Azur Lane is really good at detail in their designs, like the transparency on the dress. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah,
the dress.
The lights.
You see the sunlight. The sunlight emphasizes the body on the dress. That is just, That's el good shit there. That is the good shit right there. That is very nice. She's very combat orientated. It seems very feisty. She's got the shark teeth. She got the big claw. She's got the very, very nice, very nice. I figured, since this is a little bit of a palate cleanser, a little bit of a calm down, we get to look at some nice ship girls,
So maybe... now I've seen them all. I'm a little bit disappointed in the lack of historical accuracy in the background of the ship itself, because if I'm looking at the actual ship or the replicas of the ship in this. I'm missing more I'm missing some extra sails, because how many masts are on the ship is kind of important. It's kind of almost gives away the class of the ship.
Yeah.
So I would like, this ship is also I see 3 masts on the ship. Maybe it's two. For the Golden Hint, for example, I would like to see, this ship be bigger, because it's a big ship with a big sails. I mean, unless the breast size is has something to do with that.
Maybe. I know Azur Lane does like to add more references to historical stuff within quotes that the ship girls say. They like to kind of do. I believe there's one girl, one of the Roman girls, which is literally named Caesar. Literally is just literally Julius Caesar. Talking about Rome. How much do you think about the Roman Empire, Ali?
That meme was so dumb, and also not really. I feel it's some twisted, almost weird. I don't know. It feels very odd, this fixation on Roman Empire and some
answer the question.
Very rarely.
But not never though. You do.
I mean, the last time I thought about naval history of the Netherlands was also a couple of months ago, maybe. But also, Nretsew, if I every time I see something in a Roman-ish, did I think of Rome? No, not really.
Well, the meme. Okay, maybe we can move on from Azur Lane and we can talk about that, because that was short.
No, I'm not done. I'm not criticizing every ship. So
I'll let you go. I'll let you cook.
So I see in a painting that these bits on the sides, these kind of brackets on the side of the ship, on the front, I believe here. Maybe it's the back. Oh, it's the back, apparently. Yeah, those existed on the ship itself. Very good. But I'm still kind of... I'm missing just more details on the ship, because this looks more like a sloop. Something like you have with 2 other people. You can manage this ship. But this was a big frigate, so it needs to be bigger. And the criticism is kind of the same for all ships, but some of them have the benefit of being broken, like the Marie Celeste.
So you could just say, oh, the extra masts aren't there because
but in the San Martino, it is mostly intact, just in half. So I'm missing a lot of stuff there, and it's also too small. Marie Celeste has the benefit of being, aground in a sunken, and a big monster is in the background. It has the front of the ship. I'll avoid technical terms. The front of the ship, the pointy bit, is kind of accurate. The Wida is, as far as I can tell, it's kind of very much in the background. It's not even really part of the thing. It's more the tentacles.
Yeah, they focused a lot on the tentacles with that one.
Yeah, so, and the front of the ship here, with the railing here, is accurate to the ship. Good detail. It's small, it's in the background, it's on fire. All very good. That means I most agree with Adventure Galley as ship representation, because it has the most ship in it.
There's the most ship in it, yeah. Okay, well, there you go. That was
my review.
Expert opinion.
No Dutch ships, which is
which is weird. Which is hey, maybe next time.
3 British ships is kind of a disappointment, because the Netherlands was a big naval power.
I'm kind of shocked there wasn't more Spanish ships either, because the Spaniards were very.
Spanish were kind of a little bit of trouble at this time, so I don't think. Well, of course, time periods, it doesn't.
Period doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but you had Spanish ships, but Portugal was a very big power. Britain was a very big power. The Dutch were a very big power. Yeah. So those three should in historical context should have the most representation. The Spanish have less, are number 4. In the age of sailing, Spain was always number 4, or they overtook each other from time to time, but Spanish weren't that big of a factor. They were more going to the west with Americas than going the trade to the east, which was more profitable most of the time. So so I would if I would swap out one of the British ship for a Dutch ship, and then fine, the British can have, and the Americans can have a ship, and the British can have 2 ships or whatnot. I'm missing just the biggest naval powers, and more representation from the biggest naval powers. My very technical review of representation. I don't have representation in Nretsew. It's terrible.
Yeah, you're so sad. So sad.
So sad.
So you were saying. Anyway, I don't know if there's anything. What else have we got on the docket? Do we have anything else?
Well, I cut you off. You were saying something.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the Rome thing. So that meme. Short Fat Otaku had a video that came out about it, where he kind of goes over the history of it. Did you know it started? It was some European chick on TikTok who does. It's like some feminist girl or something, and she, I think, just like asked her husband what are some of the things that he thinks about, and one of the things that came up was the Roman Empire, and that's all it really took for that to become kind of a meme, because someone else then took that and was like, hey, ask your husband or whatever, how much does he think about the Roman Empire? The answer might surprise you, and then it's just a bunch of people repeating the meme where they ask their husband, like, how much do you think about the Roman Empire? And they'll get it, like, pretty much the same answer that you gave most of the time. It's like, oh, maybe like once a month, or like once every 2 months or something. I don't know. Or like sometimes you'll get people, they'll be like once every now and
then. But there's I don't like the question, and the answer is if and there is maybe a little bit of a sinisterness in the answer if it's too much. If you're thinking about Rome too much, there's something wrong with you. But first,
Dev gets into this in the video, but it's got something to do with how men and women think about different things. So it's not necessarily about it's bad that you think about. Like there is an implicitness with it, like the feminist perspective, because they're like, oh well, why are you thinking about the Roman Empire so much, right? And common answers to that question tend to vary along the lines of, well, the fall of the Roman Empire and history and that kind of stuff is somewhat important because, you look to history to, not have it repeat, right? And how you could make the analog that we are in a similar kind of time to the bread and circus stage of the Roman Empire, right? So
that's my
stuff
thing,
like
right?
That.
So to go to do the second thing first. The answer, if you think about the Roman Empire, say too much, then I think it kind of it's kind of becomes kind of a conspiracy of, oh, the barbarians come in and history will repeat itself and everything will be bad because I don't like how this culture thing goes out, and of course the degeneracy of the late Roman Empire caused the collapse. And we're totally in the degenerate period and we're going soon collapse, and then everything will be wasteland. That kind of conspiracy-ness. I don't like that very much. It's very much
okay. I'm not saying I necessarily disagree. However, I would counter by saying I think that it's not necessarily the implicitness of that. I think it's just more. Dev gets into the video where he talks about how it's more of a natural men thinking about safety and protection, right? How can I have to be ready to protect what I have, right? That be that family, friends.
But all right, so
that kind of thing, right? So the idea is men think about the Roman Empire a significant amount, not an insignificant amount, but not again, let's say once a month or something, right? I mean, I don't even think I'd think about it once a month unless I'm it comes up in terms of history or whatever, right? Most of the time, it I think it's just kind of thinking about. I don't know. It's weird because I've never really considered it. Right.
So
from my personal experience,
this is my
if I'm thinking about the Roman Empire, I'm more thinking about how fucking based some of the man, the warfare was so cool, Oh, man, they did the strategies and the Julius Caesars and the stuff. I watched Rome on HBO. That was a fun show, I'm not thinking about. Oh, the barbarians are about to destroy Western civilization, that kind of.
So that's my problem with the question itself. How much do you think about whatever? I can say I think about feudal Japan every other day. That's because some samurai sword shows up. Does that mean that I'm considering and contemplating the feudal Japan area, the samurai?
Yeah, I think I'm just doing a bad job explaining the video because Dev doesn't really. I don't think he makes that point, but he doesn't It's not like a big brain. This is why all the men are thinking about.
Yeah,
it's complicated. It's complicated. It's more complicated than I can explain it. Just go watch Dev's video because it was interesting. Because it was an interesting. It was an interesting video. It was very interesting.
So this is my raw opinion without input from elsewhere. In that I don't like the question because it doesn't really think about is a lot of things. When I see Nero from the Fate series, I think that is a Nero from the Roman Empire.
That's a Roman Empire reference.
Yeah. Now I have thought about the Roman Empire today. Or did I? Did I actually think about the Roman Empire?
You have met your quota of thinking about the Roman Empire.
But did
the mandated quota for every male to think about the Roman Empire.
But did I actually think about the Roman Empire? Did I think about the history and the parallels and the development and whatnot?
Yeah. Did you have an existential crisis? Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I mean, for the meme, I'm doing it right now, but I'm not comparing Rome to something today. I'm not taking a lesson from the Roman Empire that I could maybe apply to now, or a lesson from now to apply to then, a new perspective, whatnot. No, I'm just, a gladius. That's a Roman sword. The Greeks were pretty cool, actually. I'm thinking about the Greeks. And hey, what happened to the Greeks? They become part of the Roman Empire. Now I thought about the Roman Empire when I was actually thinking about how cool the Greeks were with their Athens and their Spartan and their city-states.
And their gods and their things.
And even thinking about the Roman gods. I don't like the Roman gods. The Greek gods are much cooler. But then I think about how lame the Roman gods were. Did I think about the Roman Empire? Nah. That's why I don't like the question. But then, of course, when you do actually contemplate the Roman Empire, I'll use that word instead. If you contemplate the Roman Empire daily, you're kind of a conspiracy crazy guy.
Right. Extra saber makes me nostalgic. Yeah. All right. Well, that was an interesting little mini rant. So, what animes you've been watching? You've been
Freeland is still good. I'm watching.
Where am I at with that? I have to have a look. I think I'm at episode 3 still. I haven't watched.
Oh damn! How dare you?
Last time. Yeah, I'm behind. I'm still behind.
So I've watched the Gay Villainous show.
I've been seeing some things about that one on the Twitters. People talking about it. Apparently, it's the big woke. It's the big woke.
Oh no, Japan has fallen.
Oh no, Japan has fallen. Even though that's not the case.
No.
It's very stupid, very very dumb.
Yeah, and something progressive can't come from Japanese itself. It always has to be a corruption from Western outside sources.
Which is kind of stupid because because this is based off a novel, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah, light novel, light novel, web novel. I would assume almost.
Right. I know not a lot about it. I know that it is definitely very Yuri-y. It's definitely a lot of the gays. There's a lot of the gays in it. A lot of the gays, Ellie.
Yeah, so I've liked it. I liked the 3-4 episode that I watched. So it's kind of it's a very typical isekai or more villainous. It's a very villainous, very much
style
villainous show. Girl gets in this case it's an office worker lady whose only joy is otome games, and tra-la-la-la-la, she gets reincarnated as the protagonist of the otome game, but she doesn't care for the male characters at all. Her one true love in the game is the villainous character. So she proceeds to ignore those male interests completely, and then
goes after the waifu. Yeah,
goes after her waifu, and I like a couple of minor details in that. In that the character is firstly properly gay, not baiting, not Yuri baiting in a sense. She is the super gay. The actual gay.
The big L, the big lesbian.
She's the big lesbian.
Big want the slick. Big scissoring. Big
yes. And it's also kind of handled pretty seriously. The show.
Yeah, and that's apparently why a lot of the dumbasses have been not understanding. You know how people are with their tunnel visions and their
sometimes
understanding things. Yeah.
So, for example, a common phrase in that gender doesn't matter in love. Some kind of a vague blanket statement, and then our main character says, "No, I am gay." I like.
Which is funny because that's like the what is it, the TERFs or whatever, the trans radical, the trans exclusionary radical feminists. They're like, no, I like women,
So she says because this is a kind of a serious conversation with some awkwardness around it, but I appreciate. And I didn't really consider it before that love knows no gender, love knows no sex.
Yeah, your typical hippy dippy bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, but then she goes from, nah, I am gay.
She's like, nah, I want the titty.
Yes.
Sounds based. Sounds really based.
So yeah. That's what I kind of like about the character and the scene itself.
Also, I should just note you should probably change what he was on screen. Right?
Oh yeah,
we got to remember to do that. It makes it easier when I'm doing the timestamps.
Well, yeah, sure. I'm probably going to do a post whatever layout thing where we remove this fake guy's ugly face and then do something else. Recent things we
bring up
like.
Yeah. and then you can just bring up any list or whatever.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Bring up the anime itself or something.
Recent things we like.
No, Nick's handsome face. Sorry, but he's going.
Yeah.
Recent things we like, yeah. We didn't change it for Azur Lane, but I can easily find when Azur Lane is, so.
You see Twitter and then... Yes.
Yeah, I just see Twitter and then we can do it that way, yeah.
Where's the gay? Where's the gay? I want the gay. Give me gay.
Where's the gay? Where's the gays?
Here's the gays.
Yeah,
so, brunette girl is the super gay, and the girl
blonde girl is
the villainess.
Yeah.
Can't make this bigger, and it's ugly if I do this. No, it works alright. Ta-da.
I think zooming in might work because it worked for Twitter.
Well, it's YouTube.
Oh,
YouTube
you're
compression.
using an image. You're using the image, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
that'll do for now. Yep.
Yeah. So all right. Enough about how much gay she is. That's all right.
Yeah. We get the point. She's gay, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to be Sonic Fox to bring it back to fighting game stuff. Did you know that Sonic Fox is gay, Ellie? Did you know?
Maybe
he was gay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But anyway.
All right. Second thing. I like the protagonist in that, and of course she played the game over and over, and she knows every route and everything, and she knows the meta.
It's very similar to the other. What is the villainous one that I watched? It was shit. It was fuck. What one was that? The other villainous one, where she gets reincarnated in the game as the villainous.
Yes.
Somewhat
the flags.
Yeah, the flags. Yeah. Somewhat similar, kind of setup, but slightly different.
Yeah. The thing is that there she heard somebody else give out the plot details or the route details, and she kind of has to half remember it. This protagonist knows every detail herself. She wasn't told. She played it herself. But there are still limitations. She knows the correct option to choose when to do the fine dining thing, but now she has to physically do the fine dining instead of selecting the option, so it's harder for her, and all that stuff. And she knows the protagonist has the super magic ability, so and whatnot, and she knows, oh no, this guy interest likes it when I'm super good at this, and this male interest likes this, so I'm going to set this up and avoid that. And
yeah, so there's a bit of strategy going on.
Yeah, but also one detail that I very much enjoyed is that when she did some, general school test, she wrote, "Oh, I know all the answers because I did the multiple choice thing and I can do it perfectly." But also, I did research. Because our protagonist wrote a fan fiction about the villainess, where she lost her noble status and had to become a farmer and do some stuff and etc. So she did an ungodly amount of research about the time period for her fan fiction, which is very much something people do. So I was, oh damn, you go girl, true. Those are the things I like. First, very relatable character and very thing she would do as a massive fan of character. She would write fan fiction of that character, absolutely, and a good gay. That's what I like. That's what I think that makes the show pretty good.
All right. Well, I guess I'll talk about something then. Let me bring up my Kitsu and have a look. Because I'm catching up to Dr. Stone. I got up to episode 3 on that. Interesting stuff's happening with that, actually.
Can you give me, because I've read the manga farther than the anime is. Spoilers for Dr. Stone.
Yeah, spoilers for Dr. Stone, because I'm going to talk about
spoilers. I won't spoil, of course, future episodes. So,
well, okay, so there's the second war between this new village, right, going on, right, and he's trying to make the drone, and he's now got the revival fluid. He has infinite revival fluid, all right, and we're starting to learn a bit more about the mechanics of what's going on with the revival fluid, and how depending on how long you were in stone makes determinations about different things. People revive faster if they've only been frozen for a little while, and we've just had an incident where one of the major characters has had the big stabby. They got big stabbied.
Yeah.
And now they've been petrified, and I think I can already see where the show is going. Basically, where that's going to be the whole aim is going to be try and defeat this village, revive the people that have been the big stabbied, and because it's interesting because there's a bit of asymmetrical informational warfare going on, because obviously the village doesn't know that Senku has the ability to revive people, right? And obviously, I think that's going to play a major role in the coming final fight, I guess. However you want to put it.
So
I find that interesting.
So you say they have infinite revival fluid. I assume they reached the capsule.
Yes. Yes. They reached the capsule. Yeah. I'm not talking about season 1. I'm talking about season. Yes. So because it's I think it's kind of ironic how. Well, it's not ironic, but I think it's interesting how it's repeating story beats. Because that sounds like season 1, right? But now we're in season 2. So yes, they're at the capsule. They've got the stuff they need to make infinite revival fluid, and now they're doing all of the things basically. So
how much? What do you know about the petrification? How that works?
I know that they get turned to stone. I know there's an object that looks like a helixy looking thing that they toss into the sky, and it causes the big beam to happen. And I know that using the revival fluid on somebody that's more recently been stonified tends to mean that they don't crack apart like they did initially, like the shell cracking. Yeah. They kind of just sort of turn back into humans. So that's about where we're at.
All right.
Pretty much. So yeah, fun things happening in Dr. Stone. Eminence in Shadow, pretty based. A nice little 3 episode arc there. That was quite good. Eminence in Shadow is just a fun show, man. It's so fun because you've got all of this shit going on, and the main character just doesn't give a fuck. He's just what's this? Vampires, vampire queens. I just want to steal all the money so I can live comfortably. I don't give a fuck about any of this. So and he cares about looking cool or whatever. And then so Eminence in Shadow is pretty good. Arknight's had some an interesting moment. This episode where Frost Nova sung Lullaby in Japanese, which was very weird because Lullaby is in the game sung in Russian. So I found it quite interesting to hear it sung in Japanese. But I am glad that they are incorporating some of the actual game OST into the show. I hope they do that more because they have a lot of really good music in the game that could work for stuff like that. So it was quite good. Obviously, and then I've also been watching Shield Hero, which has just been Shield Hero. There's not really much to discuss about that really. And then Farron, I'll get back to you on that once I've watched some more. I'm hoping to do that maybe this week because I've been very busy the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to make time to.
Yeah, it's Freeren is still been very fun. It's very funny how obvious the names are if you know German.
Yeah. I think you mentioned before. Yeah,
Freeren is frozen, which is frozen in time, and then you have Farron and this guy in the background in the image is called Stark. But then you got a guy named Leugen, which is German for lie. You want to guess what he's doing? He lies.
He lies. He's big liar, man.
Yes.
Big lies. Yeah.
And
the show's good. I am very eager to watch more of it. It's just like I said, I haven't had the time. I've seen some really good. Man, Hughes has been like fucking every day. Hughes the artist. Just fucking every day pumping out new fucking works. Man is obsessed.
Twitter artist, Twitter loot artist.
Yeah, Twitter loot artist is just pumping out Farron works, just fucking every day, just it's fucking great. I think he said on Twitter he's like running out of ideas.
What did he say?
Yeah, just so many, because he's putting out so many. It's like, God, dude. But they're good though. They're really good.
Yeah. If I wanted to say something about Frieden, which is true for every episode thus far, I like very much the vibes whenever Frieden is silhouetted against the sky, but she is only shown really from the nose up.
Right.
It kind of, isolates her, and she always is looking down somewhere. So it kind of looks like kind of sad, but also she's very a character that doesn't get sad. So it's kind of it kind of reinforces the title.
It's very melancholic.
Very melancholic, and the title in English is "Journey Beyond the End," I believe. Or what's the title on the?
Yeah, that is it. It's either like
Beyond Journey's End.
Yeah, it's something like that.
But so I'll have it on the screen, my dictionary. So means attending a funeral or seeing off the deceased, which is very fitting for Frieden, who is thousands, how many years old.
Seeing off the people that
She's constantly attending a funeral, so it's very much a vibe of she's silhouetted alone against the sky, and she's looking down, and it wouldn't be surprising if there was a grave there. I like that vibe. I just wanted to mention that.
Right. All right. Well, I guess that'll probably about do it. I reckon we're currently trying for each week.
Yeah.
Stream out each week. So we'll probably be same time next week ish.
Because scheduling and whatnot.
Yeah.
Next week should be fine unless I get a call from families. They very much want to do.
Yeah, family stuff. We'll put out a community post if anything comes up.
Yeah, like something a Thursday or Wednesday, somewhere halfway in the middle of the week.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. But anyway, it was a fun time. It was a frustrating time, but also a fun time.
Good suggestion, Samu. Nretsew loved it.
Yes, I loved it. I really did. It was fun. It was great. God. All right, but anyway, it was fun, and we'll catch you guys all next time.
Later, and as I move my mouse